Isa pang laro, isa pang best of 7, isa pang pangarap para makamit ang kampyonato para sa Pilipinas. Welcome to the Grand Finals of the SIBOL 2022 National Team Selection for Mobile Legends Bang Bang, powered by Smart. Sa inyong lingkod, ako nga po pala si Leo, kasama na dito si Wolf. Kami ang kinikilalang The Animals at kami napakasaya, napaka-privileged para maghandog sa inyo ng malupit na laban. Wolf, could you have thought na ganito kainit ang pasok natin sa Grand Finals?
Not really, kasi in-expect ko na pwedeng mangyari is yung mga top teams talaga. Obviously, yung mga BLACKLIST International, expect natin na puta sa Grand Finals yan. But not like this. Parang sobrang dominant performance sila na parang na doon rin si Oheb at si Edward, diba? Ganun kalupit. And then, NXPE, of course, the darling of the Philippines when it comes to Mobile Legends. Finally, getting yung pinakamalayo na naabot na kaya nilang abutin so far. And they're just one last series away from reaching their dreams.
I love how you put it, and that reminds me of something I thought about nung mga nakaraang araw. Kung mangyari man ang next play, EVOS versus BLACKLIST International, magiging the People's Champ versus the Filipino Champ. As in, if you're looking at next play right now, it's a majority amateur team. So nasa likod nila yung mga pangarap ng mga nangangarap, diba? And then you're looking at BLACKLIST International, they dominated the world in 2021 and now trying to make another move in 2022. So, again, sa Pilipinas pa lang, makikita mo na nagsisimula yung laban. Honestly, both these teams, kung pwede lang, sila na sana mag-represent kasi sobrang lakas nila pareho for different reasons. But tonight, there can only be one. Only one team will remain to guarantee a slot to be part of the SIBOL training pool for nationals, for the national team in Mobile Legends Bang Bang. By the way, before we start, malapit na magsimula ang BO7 na ito, we would like to thank all those who are making this possible. This is all organized by PESO. Sa mga di nakakaalam, ang PESO o Philippine Esports Organization ay ang National Sports Association para sa esports dito sa Pilipinas. Layunin ng PESO na palakihin at pasiglahin ang esports industry dito sa ating bansa. Sila ay isang non-stock, non-profit organization at binubuo ng mga esports industry big players katulad ng Tier 1, Goliath Concepts, Mineski Global, TNC Bren, Esports at marami pang iba. Suportan natin ang PESO sa kanilang mga adhikain. Para sa karagdagang impormasyon, maaari niyong bisitahin ang www.esports.com.ph o kaya ang kanilang Facebook fan page, Philippine Esports Organization. This tournament and this broadcast is also powered by Smart. Experience the power of Smart 5G in over 4,900 sites nationwide. Switch now to experience the difference. Visit smart.com.ph/MNP to learn more. Konti na lang, Wolf. Magsisimula na ang best of 7. It's going to be a hard match dahil parehong teams na to, meron silang dapat rinirespetong heroes. May mga comfort picks sila na pag inopen mo, nako, magsulat-sulat ka na. What can we expect here in the first match? Magkakapaan ba sila? Because to be fair, BLACKLIST had so much time to study. Ang daming linaro ng next play in the past couple of days while BLACKLIST was just waiting in the upper bracket.
That's correct. So for example, yung mga donut heroes na kita-kita natin sobrang successful. Like the 1-1 as well as the Brody. Although siguro hindi nila i-consider na iba yung Brody. But yung 100% yung 1-1 tingin ko, hindi nila ibibigayan. And I think ang main reason kung bakit successful ang NXP doon sa previous series nila against RSG at Onyx is because of one player at yung comfort playstyle niya, si Cadenza. Johed and Kufra, na-miss natin yung playstyle lang yan, particularly doon sa Johed at hindi nakaporma yung mga katapat nila. Like, for example, Onyx Philippines, hindi sila nakaikot nung Game 5 dahil doon sa Johed na yon.
Yeah, and I mentioned this the other day, napaka-init lang ng laban, sobrang action-packed na hindi natin na-discuss. Or if in the draft, you already mentioned that player, si Cadenza. I said out loud, sabi ko, si Cadenza, para siyang 2019 pro player na may katawan ng 2022 rookie. Ganun yung galawan niya. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a compliment in the sweetest ways. Kasi, imagine mo, kung 2019, double tank meta pa yon, tapos ganito yung galawan mo, what more now, wherein heroes are so soft, wherein even the explainer sometimes needs help. Bilang isang Cadenza, bilang isang player na sobrang lakas ng Johed at Kufra, the opponent really have to watch out for them. How about BLACKLIST? The last time we saw BLACKLIST, they dominated RSGPH. And RSGPH, they folded the next play here this time around. Anong klaseng BLACKLIST kaya makita natin more? Are we still gonna just see Dominic and Owl do Dominic Owl things? Or baka mapilitan kaya si Wise na mag-adjust at mag-flex na naman sa jungle?
noticeably nung mga unang beses na naglaban sila, parang may konting disconnect, parang medyo ilang pa, but after day 2, nakita natin performance sa BLACKLIST International. Nakita mo may flip of the switch. Meron agad, kung ube time man tawag doon, or biglang power spike ng mga members ng BLACKLIST International. But what really happens is, kailangan na mag-farm yung gold lane, at yung XP lane ay kailangan na makakuha ng tanky items. Eventually, kaya ng imando ng DYs yung mga dapat nilang gawin from objective to objective.
Now that you mentioned it, VYs, and we're talking about heroes na pwede magkaagawan, both these teams, they really love that Matilda. Are we gonna see Matilda here? Is Matilda going to be a point of contention? Or baka meron ditong pinaplano si Zico or si Bonchan na, sige, banda natin. Palayan tayo ng hero pool. What do you think?
Yeah, 100% feeling ko lalagpas yun. Kasi may mga Ottoman heroes, may mga Glue, may mga Kufra, tapos merong mga Valentina. So, lalabas yung Matilda. It's up to them kung paano nila, kung ano yung i-pair up nila with Valentina. We can see that in their series yesterday, yung nakas natin yung meron palang Matilda +1 na naliligtas nila like yun. Tipong mga Karina, mga ganun, mga Pakito that they combo with para kung sakaling wala silang mobility, meron kang dash through the guiding wave.
Merong hatid, Matilda. I'm trying too hard, but let's move on. Alright, so merong Matilda na pwede nilang i-contest. I'm guessing the Uranus and the Edith might also be something that they have to watch out for. We no longer have to theorize. Ladies and gentlemen, ito na. Let's go into the draft. These are your smart picks and bans going to game number 1. Next, Evos on the play. BLACKLIST International on the swing back. And just like that, Venus na naman sa 2022. Estes first taken out.
I think it's just natural. Samantala, BLACKLIST, banyo yung Valentina. Yun lang yun. Then, susunod na yung mga tipong mga Kufra, like the ban on the show. Kasi Haji special yan. At madami pwedeng gumamit yan sa BLACKLIST.
And
so,
of course,
Kufra ban, BLACKLIST.
Again, I like what we brought up the other day, no? Yung pinag-usapan natin, kapag tinanggal mo yung comfort heroes ng mga rookies, nagiging rookie ulit sila. You put them in a place wherein they have to start performing. And maybe later, maybe si Cadenza makukuha ng mamaya, pero una muna si Donut. There's the 1-1 ban.
You don't want to give that 1-1 at all. Hindi takot ang next play, Evos, if your first pick nila yan. Ganyan sila ka-confident with that particular hero. Sa BLACKLIST International, siguro may sagot din sila talaga dun sa Kufra kaya di na automatically binaban. Thinking baka kumuha din sila ng ban sa Pakito as next play. Isa to sa mga comfort picks ng next play. Parang pwede nilang i-first pick tapos open pick siya. Pwedeng XP lane, pwedeng jungler. This time, Matilda first pick as expected from the next play.
We mentioned na ito magiging point of contention nila, mag-aagawan. I was about to say, was Kufra worth it? Maybe pagkaikot. Pero first phase pa rin. It's not impossible. BLACKLIST International, what's open for them? Eve is still open here. You can get an Esmeralda. Pwede may bigay kay Dominic. Ano ba ibang possibilities, Wolf? Clint and something seems to be a solid red side thing to do, right?
Oo. Esme Clint, mga ganun. I like the Esmeralda agad kasi sagot agad yan dun sa Matilda. Dun sa knockout shields niya. Typically, ang side ng ng next play, gusto yung mga ganun shielding like Matilda Johead na kinakombo nila. So, they abuse that. Instead, Rafaela, kunin ng BLACKLIST International. Secure na nila yung heroes dito ni Queen V. And Brody agad, okay. Bibigay na lang yung Clint.
Wow. 0% prediction for us. Nag-iinit lang kami, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 pa lang naman. So, they're gonna answer mobility with mobility. Yung Rafaela, holy healing, yung pampabilis ng movement speed, and of course, the healing, the sustain, so you can take better team fights or retreat and survive. As well as the Brody. But, ito na nga, Wolf, hindi na sila magpapatumpik-tumpik pa. Instead of the Kufra, they get the Johead and the Ruby. So, malinaw to na itong Ruby na to ay magiging kay Orechi and then Johead Cadenza. How can BLACKLIST answer?
Esmeralda. Sagot dito.
Still!
Nakita na agad against Johead tsaka Matilda. And it's a very open pick. Pasok naman siya kahit anong composition. At taas din ang hero pool nila. Wise. Of course, Haji. Diba? So, I don't think na mauubusan.
Ladies and gentlemen, ganun kalupit. Ito si Orechi, Cadenza, at si Donut. They really earned our hearts and our love in this tournament alone. Second phase ban. There goes the Saber. Ito ba yung nakikita mo, Wolf, na pwede rin piliin ni H2? Because Bonchan seems to have thought it too.
At natalo na din ng BLACKLIST International with the Saber before, if you recall.
Specifically.
Specifically sa Saber. Karina ang ban ng NXPE EVOS, so paubusan dito ng junglers or ng jungler choices. At alam natin, kay H2, madami siyang pwede piliin. Like, Pakito is still open. I wouldn't be surprised if ito yung ban ng BLACKLIST International. Kasi isang comfort pick to. At I would say, di na nila kailangan yan. There was one time na ginamit ni Wise yung Pakito, but I don't think i-repeat nila yan dito sa Grand Finals.
Yeah, that was a pretty good Pakito. Good morning ko pa siya nun. But as it is, you're right. Ang dami pa actually. Again, Wise, very versatile. H2 though, still has a solid amount of choices here. Surprisingly enough, Lancelot ay hindi pa nababan. So, open pa yun. Ling, if he so chooses. So, worst comes to worst, okay pa si H2. Like, H2 is fine.
Yep.
So, there's the Clint. So, Wolf, they're not gonna open up the Clint. Hindi nila hayaan.
Yep. Lane matchup laban sa Brody. Siguro, ganun din yung plano nila dito. Knowing ng NXP ay i-prioritize yung ibang heroes, they planned out yung pinakamahirap na katapat ng isang Brody. Instead, ang next play, nagban ng Pakito. Very interesting day. Ngayon, meron pang Lilia, meron pang Kagura. Mga heroes na saktong-sakto para sa Ubistrat ng BLACKLIST International. Meron pa rin Farsa at hindi ako magulat kung pinili nila. Barats is still open. Mga jungle Barats.
True. Lalo na Rafaela Barats. Yung mobility ng Barats, yung questionable mobility ng isang dinosaur, it's out the door. They solved it. So, first pick here in the second phase for BLACKLIST. They get one and then they can close up strong. Jungler na kaya to?
I think so. Or baka i-last pick nila yung pwede nila i-last pick actually yung kanilang jungler. Get the Haji hero like Lilia, ayun Eve, super Haji hero. Puro sila Magic, ano kayang may sagot ng NXP. Mayroon sila pang cancel na doon dito sa Eve. Hindi ako magulat kung Claude ni Donut, ginagamit nila yan. Decent siya versus Esme versus Eve. Siguro sa Brody lang sa laning stage doon siya mahirapan. Pero kung tutulungan naman siya na Matilda, pwede nilang masolve yung lane na yun.
I actually like that. I like the Claude. Lalo na't alam natin kapag dating ng late game, kayang-kaya ng NXPE EVOS yan. They're taking the best of both worlds. Na yung aggression nila early, tapos yung bago nilang style from Season 8. Na kahit na iba yung lineup noon, mukhang nadala rin ng mga rookies nila ngayon. So I definitely like the Claude.
Oh.
And I also like, wait! What? Teka lang this is different. Is this H2? No. Gold Lane Aldous. And no. You know what? Pinapakita tayo ni Zico. Zico still, sinasabi ko tayo ni Zico. Kasi pwede rin mag-switch in.
Pwede nga. Kailangan ngayon ng Aldous killer ng BLACKLIST. Wonder if, actually pwede sila mag-barrats pa rin. Para makakagat agad. May setup.
Still, yes. Para makain.
Still very good. Maka-carry, ganun, so that you have true damage versus this Aldous. Kasi kailangan mo na physical na dito for BLACKLIST. Puro magic damage yung kanilang composition. This, of course, except the Brody.
Yep, and they lose the scaling battle kung hindi nila matapos agad-agad. So instead, you see why he's picking up the Aulus. Physical, yes, pero tama ba to, Wolf? Will he win eventually if ever makarating sa point na stacks on stacks na ang Aldous?
Pwede kung mabilis ang tempo nila. Meron silang Rafaela. So I think doable. Aulus is decent versus Yisun Chin. Kasi si Yisun Chin, farmer siya. Isa lang yung dash niya, basically. Unless, of course, makapag-passive siya. Magamitan niya yung passive niya. Tuloy-tuloy. Pwede lang makadash away. But, technically speaking, itong Aulus plus the Rafaela, pwede siyang mang-run down na mga kalaban. And that's the idea here from BLACKLIST International. Early game run down versus a late game Aldous. That's what we can expect in this game.
And if anything, next play, what they're holding on to, what they're using para hindi ma-run down, is yung superior vision. Superior vision play and CC. So they have that in spades. Ang dami nilang ways naman disrupt or mag-disengage after magpumilit ang BLACKLIST. We'll see how they do this. Again, ang Power Vision, meron sila nung Mountain Shocker, Yisun Chin, tapos meron pa silang Chase Fate. Wow! Ang dami nilang Global Vision, Wolf. This is minsan lang magganito ang BLACKLIST. So that might actually be a key here, right? Let's see. We're going into the game number 1. Mga mata ng Next Play Evo, sapat ba para malaman kung paano sila makapasok ng late game? Here we go. This is going to be Wise starting off in his purple at mirror dito, the H2.
Cadenza already going for the reset. Pero hindi total yung reset kasi tinamaan ulit ang hero instead of the actual buff. But very nice try, at least mapanggulo siya dito. Yung presence siya lang dito, kumukunat na yung mga jungle creeps eh. So, mapapatagal ng konti. Yep. We already know na yung Olus mabilis mag-take ng jungle yan, but with the help of this Johan, ito po yung playstyle ni Cadenza. Sobrang, this wasn't present ng MPL Season 8 tsaka ng M3, but now, na-miss natin to kasi we rarely see Johan eh.
Yeah, the effort is appreciated, pero Mr. and Mrs. Del Rosario not gonna let it happen. That rotation cost them about 200 gold in the lead. 1 minute in, makapag-boots agad dito si Haji, penetration beats. And yes, lamang ang next place addition, pero pagdating sa rotational speed, Blacklist has it now. Ngayon,
kamot dito pa.
Close, but not quite. Aldous, first blood on the gold lane. Aldous, Donut falls, pero may trade. Mountain Shocker on a recalling of Venus. And yun, papasukin ni Cadenza underneath the turret. Tapat yung damage. Pero may trade. It wasn't an execution, and that's still a kill going over to Haji. Ang ganda ng laban na 2-2 agad, 2 minutes in.
Dami agad bakbakan and everybody just starting to brawl into the mid lane. Almost dying yung ibang mga members nila, tapos may bigla tayo makita ng first blood sa top lane na si Mountain Shocker na parang hindi yata ganun ka-expected. Mukhang nakatingin sa iba si nagtitipi kasi si Queen B, baka hindi rin niya matatakbuhan yung range ng Mountain Shocker.
Yeah. The thing about Queen V is, in those lull moments, I'm guessing, again, as main shop caller, nagche-check siya na pwede pang gawin, na pwede gawin sa mapa. So, that's definitely something that sometimes you can't avoid. Para about memory dito, ni Owl, kinulang pa ng stacks kay Donut. Gonna force the recall here, but it's not safe. Do it over there. Top half of the map, committed by BLACKLIST International, si Cadenza. Pinoprotekta ng farm ni H2. I wonder kung anong itsura ng farm ni H2 dahil maliit lang yung gap, honestly. But again, the same, 200, 300 gold between them. And it's still gonna be all about that Mountain Shocker, that vision. Oh, ang daming gold. 3 gold on the turn up. Cadenza, threatening 1, Holy Baptism. Malalapagan ba dito? Mabibigyan ba si Hayes? Answer's no.
In fairness, mas mayaman dito si Yisan Shin, which is H2 over Wise. So kahit may lead ng BLACKLIST International, overall, may mga mayayaman na sa NXPE boss. And maybe they can use this to get some kills in the map.
Mr. Salonga got that paper. Let's see where BLACKLIST International can make up for it. Economy-wise, lamang sila mas spread out siguro yung pera ng BLACKLIST. And there was a wind talker, I believe. And here's something to notice. Before we talk about that, here's a big team fight. First, a stun. Nabitin ng isang stack. Torn apart memory. Hindi naman makakuha si Owl. Mid lane. Force push here. Let's talk about it, Wolf. Demon Slayer. Previously known as a Mage Killer on Wise. That emblem.
Para di mapabilis yung team fight. This is not the first time he used it. At siya rin isa sa mga proponents nitong emblem na to. Kahit pa dating-dati pa, years ago, nung hindi pa siya part ng BLACKLIST International. And it's all about just heavy farming. Talaga yun eh. Try mo maging ahead sa kalaban mo and then use that gold advantage para manalo sa mga duelo.
And eventually we'll see it in action, especially when they start taking these major objectives. But wait, fight down here in the lower half of the river. Ureshi dashing on through. Guiding in papunta kay Hayes. Let's see. Oh, reward manipulation put in by Sonic Imam. Haji with that stun. Cadenza goes down. The slow and the turbo claim going over Mr. Del Rosario, BLACKLIST International, making that lead all the more present. 1.5k about in 5 minutes.
Sobrang ganda ng execution ng BLACKLIST International. Hindi nakapwesto yung next play EVOS and BLACKLIST was able to use Haji's ultimate reward manipulation. Na-nerf na ngayon pero it looks like the able hands of Haji, alam niya yung calculation. And was able to get a kill on Cadenza. Nung wala ng HP si Cadenza, na kinaya na ng BLACKLIST International na mag-turtle ng safe.
And essentially, that led to more of a lead dahil napabalance nung lane na yun sa top lane. It alleviates some pressure. Down bottom, Ureshi versus Dominic. Wolf, kanina pa natin sinabing actually worth it yung first pick Esmeralda. Pero eventually nakuha pa rin naman. We're seeing now how it's doing so well. Dominic sitting at 1-0. All this while, si Ureshi, bumabawi naman. Naghahanap ng bawi dito, especially in team fights. I think that's where we'll see it more. Hayes gets spotted. Same sila ng mechanics ng Rafaela, no? Same sila na parang they need to be a little close for the vision. Cadenza with the pick-up play, he gets one! And that's going to be a close call onto the Aulus. Why pass wise defensive use of the real manipulation.
Haji always, pati dito si Venus, making sure na nililigtas nila doon. Kasi sobrang ganda ng initiation na from Cadenza, but with all of the sustain na meron BLACKLIST International.
Cadenza gets caught out here with a stun. Ao gets the kill. And so far, good news for H2. Nakuha niya pa rin yung kanyang purple buff. Pero tinamo papasok dito. Si Donut, gonna get stunned here. Still alive, surviving the field. Guiding wind on out. Another kill. Oh, max range on that Brody. And there's a jump. Sa may likod. Check out Dominic. May punish mo dito. Mula kay H2. Hindi siya mahuli ni Ureshi. They're gonna get away with this. 2 free kills on the side of BLACKLIST.
Exactly. Kasi tinuloy ni Donut yung kanyang ulti at handang-handa si Venus with his holy baptism. Pagbaba, maghin na konti, tapos mag-stun. And obviously, may damage output na dito si Wise, pati si Haji. Really falling behind dito ang NXPE, pero yung BLACKLIST, they're gonna keep the tempo up.
Yeah, and the choke has begun. 7 minutes in, after taking the turtle, swiftly going for the orange. You saw H2 try for it. Pero again, makikita mo dito yung talent ni H2 sa pagbabasa ng retry. Hindi niya inasim. He didn't use it. So it's safe for the next major objective take. Pero looking at the gold, 4,400 to Wise at 5,000. So ahead na. Nakalamang na. So nahanap na ni Wise yung gusto niyang gawin with that Demon Slayer.
Yeah. With so much of a lead. Parang halos item ahead na siya kay H2. And next play ko, tingnan natin kung paano sila mag-crash. I mean, sobrang lakas pa rin first.
Donut and Cadenza, that two-man combo, not enough to take down Owl, especially with Queen V next to him. Holy healing, keeping him alive. Cadenza, kung still play, mahanap dito. Kaka! Circling Eagle on to Wise. Mr. De Rosario, saan ka pupunta? Goes in for the fight. Oh no, Undying Fury quite yet. Pero magsisisi dito. That's gonna be the jump in. Takes two. Hayes takes him down alongside Ureshi. Matakbo sila. Dominic looking for one. Nagamit nila like Polystar Moon. Haji! Maliki Mom gets one more. Cadenza falls. Ureshi and Applepisha. Hayes backing out. That's gonna be a push up top and down bottom. That's two tier 1s going down. Mid lane for pressure dito. 4v3. How can they defend? That's a pull-in! Nice goal by Ureshi! Tatapusin ni H2 si Owl. This might have been too much for BLACKLIST to stay straight. Ginamit doon ni Donut. Sinong tatalanan niya? Target cancelled. Magpupush na lang siya instead.
Napakagandang set of events para sa next play Evos. Kasi sa lahat ng gulo nangyari, nakapag-push pa si Donut sa nakapag-farm siya. Effectively, 2K na lang yung lamang ng BLACKLIST International. Ganda nung collab sila kay Wise, especially using itong Matilda para sa defense. They get out of the Eve ultimate dahil sa kanilang mga flicker. Well done. Well executed for that NXPE Evos.
Oh, wait, bottom lane, Dominic, kamunti ka na. It's enough. That's gonna be a two-man assault down bottom, and here we go, another one, real-world manipulation. Salikiman put it up. Kailangan na naman ko ito. That's gonna be the commitment by Aulus. Wise gonna secure this 9th Lord, and just like that, they call retreat Venus, starting the dispersion, and it's gonna be Alcott out. Medyo masyadong malayo. Malalim ang Brody, pero may bawi. Down goes Koreshi, 1-for-1 so far in this extended team fight. And that's going to be a good trade for next play. Nakahabol nila ng konti, keeping this gold lead to about 2K.
Galing talaga ng ginagawa ng NXPE Evos dito for the wins. Kasi they're backing on their knockdown, tapos may common damage out mula H2. So that's well done. Fortunately, BLACKLIST International, no, galing nila mag-trade. So nakita nila, there are two people in the bottom lane, including yung jungler ng NXPE Evos. So sinumulan agad nila, finance clear agad nila itong Lord. And with the ultimate mula kay Haji, na ang aim lang talaga ay mag-zone out, hindi makapasok sa area of control ng NXPE. Ang NXPE ng BLACKLIST International.
Yep. And now, top Lord, nagsisimula na magmukhang pula. Baluarte na ng BLACKLIST International ang mapa. And slowly but surely, next play Evos, their plan here is to defend first. Take down this first Lord. They still have those inhibitor blasts. pwede pa rin ma-wipe itong wave na ito. But look at this. It looks like BLACKLIST International are committing. There's a real revelation. Papasok isa ni Donut. H2 finish the job. Down goes Owl. Meron pa ba? Still no trade on the side of NXPE EVOS yet. That's 2 down. H2 gets the double. Down goes Queen B. Napasama pa yata. BLACKLIST International may have overcommitted here. It's a triple kill. John Paul Salonga. What are you doing? Down goes Dominic as well. At titigil na ang BLACKLIST International.
Hindi rin sila napag-split push dun sa may bottom lane. Napakagandang chain of events para sa next play. Maganda ng shot selection nila, going for the backliners first. Meron din silang chain stuns. Imagine mo, meron silang Rafael, meron silang Matilda, meron silang Johead, tapos meron din konting stun itong Aldous, as well as this Ruby.
Yep, so that's not Conte, that's 4. And dami ng Wolf, and that's becoming trouble for BLACKLIST. Ang late na nung gold lead, man. Kanina nasa 2K, ngayon 1K na lang. And even BLACKLIST knows that it's dangerous to fight.
Sama mo pa yung bangka ni H2 pa sakali. So literally, that's sila may stun. That's why
So, 5.
yung mga damage, yung mga clashes na malapit sa base ng NXPE EVOS will always favor them over BLACKLIST International.
Yeah, so that was one mistake that next play was waiting for BLACKLIST to make, or not a mistake, but for them to read into. So now nakuha na next play yon, which gave H2 a triple kill. Yung dynamic ng dalawang lineup ngayon, lalo na naka-ariba na sila. Let's put it at that, naka-ariba na sila. 9 and 7, 12 minutes in, parang both of them kind of wanna ube, but both of them kind of don't wanna do that at the same time. Kasi delikado dun sa una magko-commit.
Team turret has been destroyed.
H2 meron siyang barko may Dauntless Fleet.
Oh, watch out. Tatapusin na ba? Nako, sinimulan ng iba. Kakainin nung kabila. And there's a real revelation. And they take down Cadenza. Nice jump in by Dominic. That's a holy baptism. Taking 2 down. Hayes and Cadenza bites the dust. That's going to be wise. Securing the Lord. This is Luminous getting at 13 minutes in. Abort mission, sabi ni Donut. Nothing there for me to get. And that's going to be a wave he left the top. Pero masasalubong siya ng isang Luminous Lord. The choke resumes. BLACKLIST International gonna take the purple away here from H2.
Ang ganda din sa ginawa ng BLACKLIST International, they fought outside of the base. Tingnan mo yung timing. Hindi nag-ulti agad dito. Wala pa lang available kay Donut. But I've gone for the Mountain Chakra para nakita ng NXPE EVOS. Kaso masyado nang late at natalo na sila. Yung jump ng Esmeralda combination with the EVOS, so deadly in this game. Kailangan mo i-respect yan. If you're NXP, yung mga laban outside of their base, hindi sila papaboran doon.
Red team turret has been destroyed.
And that's where the ube doesn't happen. Mountain Shocker helping clear the wave. Nagkumpul-kumpul doon. Lord na lang natitira, and that one cart, that's gonna be inhibitor up top taken down. Meron pa shield itong mid. And it looks like wala na. Another inhibitor falls here for next play EVOS. Donut, tatrabaho sa may baba, and there's a real revelation. Plus, the Undying Fury. Masayaw-sayaw dito si Ureshi, and there it is! Owl gets one! Ureshi taken down, and here comes Donut. Atanan si Owl, not enough. It's going to be a tough one. Owl flickering in, tinapos si Wise, down goes the Owlers. Cadenza falls as well, popping immortality. Mag-revive siya, buhay pa. Still underneath its base. 4v3. What's gonna happen, Wolf? Another falling star removal. H2 falls. Haji gets a kill. Mega kill. This Eve is unstoppable. Mapabagsakin ni Hayes dito. Si Wise, Mr. Garatario fallen for now. Kasi there's a smart missile. But you don't even survive for so long. Hayes, the only one left. He's clearing the waves. He's struggling. He's trying. This one time, SEA Games gold medalist cannot defend by himself. Kasi Ureshi, kaya ba nila to? Man defense. That's a pull-in. Sobrang baba na. Ang tagal, walang damage dealer sa base. Retreat, sabi ng BLACKLIST.
Woo! Sweaty defense para sa next play EVOS, but BLACKLIST International napagandang execution. Nung tinalo na ni Aldous si Donut, si Owl, going for the Wind of Nature, tapos ginamit niya yung walls. Tumalon siya sa the wall, tapos nag-flicker forward. Hindi rin siya na-punish. Eventually, mamamatay doon si Owl, but masyado nang napakomit si Donut as well as si Cadenza, kaya naman, eventually napatay lang sila ni Wise. You gotta have to comment itong si Ureshi at itong si Yelly Hayes. They tried their best, and so far, mabubuhay sila for one more fight.
Yep, that's the Bataanon and Castro combo. But look at this, Donut using that Chase Fate in a defensive manner, and there you go. Some snaps put in. Dominic finishing the job. Papabagsakin dito si Haji. Alikimo McFallen. That's going to be
last flash na yun kasi nag-in out. Kung papansinin mo, di ba, na corner yung mga members ng NXP. Wala silang nagawa dun sa in out ng Blacklist International. Very well orchestrated na fight, and every time yung pinakahuling clash, nagsimula siya nung nahanap nila si Aldous, and without Aldous, dapat huli Aldous dadating para may panggulat ang side ng NXP EVOS. Dahil nauna si Aldous, kinumit na nila yung ultimate ng Rafaela, which is the Holy Baptism, tapos ultimate ni Eve, and they had enough damage dahil dun sa lockdown at Mercedok. Kasi armor lang naman talaga ang makunat para sa isang Aldous. But with the mixture of true damage, physical, and magic damage, natunaw nila si Aldous ng time na yun.
Eventually, it came down to that. And I think they were playing off their peaks. If I'm not mistaken, makikita natin sa smart plays at saka sa post-game stats coming up here. Meron times na lamang talaga yung next play when it comes to the damage and the engagement under certain circumstances. Like yun nga, malapit sa base. Pero alam pa rin ng Blacklist kung saan sila papasukin In this 16-minute game, 18-3, there was at some point na lamang sa kills sa next play. Am I right?
Yep. Yeah. Dahil din sa ikot nitong si Cadenza at itong si Matilda. So, pinaprove ng side ng Blacklist International na handang-handa sila dito. At napakasimple lang din ang sagot Esmeralda. In the mid-game, hindi makaporma itong Johead at as well as na Matilda kasi nahaharangan lang sila. Particularly dahil doon sa mechanic ng Esmeralda na pangtanggal ng shields. And in a way, meron din siyang added na factor versus this Aldous kasi may mga shields din yan. So sobrang solid talaga itong Esmeralda pick coming out from Blacklist International.
Yep, and it was all in the draft first phase, last pick on the red side. We're seeing the smart plays here. We're starting a little later. Ito yung medyo nakabawi ang next play EVOS. Nahanapan nila ng out yung Blacklist pero may bawi pa rin because of the how Haji was almost unkillable this whole time.
Ganda na pwestuhan lagi ni Haji, tsaka yung timing niya ng ultimate niya. That's why nahirapan yung NXP was makipag-engage. You had to give it to H2. Sobrang ganda ng performance niya dito. In the other Eason Shane, ang ganda rin ng farm niya. At a certain point, mas mayaman pa siya kay Wise. But carry it on his own. Ang ganda ng map control ng Blacklist. Sabihin na natin mas tumagal pa yung laban. Masakit na tong si itong Aldous. And eventually, kaya na nilang makapang one-shot ng mga nasa backlines. But in Blacklist si Zelda, meron silang mga winter transients, meron silang wind of nature na nakita natin nung gino ni Donut, si Owl. Merong nakandang wind of nature, tapos may flicker, tapos meron pang dash. Eventually, mamamatay.
SIBOL, yung iba medyo complicated. Ito, kita mo kung nasan yung ginagawa nila. Execution. I think you use that word, Wolf, dati. Ease of execution.
Ease of execution, kita sa Blacklist. Sobrang traditional na kanilang composition at nakita natin kung gaano siya kaganda versus NXP EVOS. At masasabi ko sa Blacklist International, ibang klase yung pagkaka-intindi nila sa game na to. Lumalaban sila dun sa Lord pag nakita nila may nag-push sa bottom lane. It's always a trade if you're playing up against Blacklist International. Walang libre kapag laban mo ang Blacklist International.
Yep, and here we see moments to the finish. Eventually, dito yata mangyayari yun. Yung team fight na yun na mawa-wipe out ang next play EVOS is gonna start very interestingly with a trade on Cadenza. Double kill on Cadenza and Hayes. Tapos makukuha nila yung Lord isa pa. Right, there was a Luminous Lord one more time. Butas lang pala to. Is gonna result in a top and mid penetration.
That's right. If na-activate agad yung Mountain Shocker before they even started the Lord, or at least mga 75% na si Lord, alam nila kung nasan yung Blacklist International, but hindi nila take advantage ng nilang vision and Blacklist just run through them. Kung papansinin mo, makikita mo yung wind of nature usage mula kay Owl, tapos yung talo niya pababa para talaga madodge doon si Donut, and there was the punish. Unfortunately, he still falls, pero ang dami nang nabiling oras at pwesto ng Blacklist International because of that.
Yep, ang daming na-expend na ult, battle spells. And what's interesting is, hindi niya binili yung Winter Truncheon na yun. He had it this whole time. We would have seen kung nag-juggle siya. So, ibig sabihin, alam niyang papunta sa kanya si Donut nun.
That's the main idea. Tapos pag nag-Wind of Nature ka, tapos nag-Winter Truncheon, the rest will follow. At meron nga kasing ultimate si Venus, yung kanyang Holy Baptism, perfect na perfect sa mga ganong moments. Tingnan mo yung discipline ng Blacklist dito. Hindi sila nag-overcommit kahit alam natin na meron na silang straight up chance. They still waiting for the moment. Alam nila na lamang sila. So, no reason to waste your advantage if you're Blacklist.
Yep. Smart plays coming in from both teams, but it's Blacklist International who takes game number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, kapit lang. If you're a next play Evo supporter, alam ninyong kaya pang tumaban ng kapunan ninyo. There's gonna be a few more games, I'm sure. At least a few more. Because Next play was not gonna let it happen, not so quickly like this. Black International sitting at a 1-0 lead. This is the best of 7. We're about to go to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. The Animals at your service. You guys are watching the SIBOL 2022 National Team Selection for Mobile Legends Bang Bang powered by Smart. And babalik after a quick break. Babalik ang Grand Finals ng SIBOL 2022 National Team Selection for Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Sa inyong lingkod, ako nga po pala si Dan. Kasama natin dito si Kay Sam. Kami ang The Animals, and it's time for game number 2 between NXPE EVOS and BLACKLIST International. In 60 minutes, BLACKLIST International found a way to overload what NXPE EVOS was trying to do, but this time around, tingnan natin kung paano babawi ang NXPE. Wolf, what kind of draft might they have gone with in game number 2 here? Let's try to talk about it dahil tanggapin natin hindi na makukuha. We don't have yung 1-1. Like, it's not gonna happen anymore.
I think yung Brody siguro i-prioritize na kasi mukhang kita natin kasi may Clint pa eh. So maybe prioritize yung Clint or yung Brody. Make sure na meron silang lane matchup na maganda versus BLACKLIST International. Doon sila medyo na-olat eh. Kasi parang kung lagi ka naghahabol ng farm, it makes sense in the late game for sure. Pero kung hindi ka umabot doon, what's gonna happen now? And clearly, BLACKLIST International knows how to punish yung mga ganong klaseng greedy na drafts.
So, watch out where your budget is. And kung nagagawa nila sa ibang teams, maybe not to BLACKLIST. Let's talk about BLACKLIST International. Hack Avino's not gonna work anymore. I think when you try to hack Avino, ang nangyayari is switch sila kay Haji. Parang Haji ang magiging support, ang magiging post for. Is there another approach you see NXPE was trying here? May iba kaya sila pwedeng gawin sa draft ng BLACKLIST?
I think laging lagi ang proponent na huwag kang mag-hack of Venus kasi it doesn't make sense to me. For sure, mabuhos siya ng hero pero so many other heroes out there at mamabasag yung composition mo. Try to solve it. Yun ang kailangan mong isipin and it's very difficult for sure pero hindi tamang approach na mag-hack of Venus ka lang. Siguro magbaban ka ng mga sobrang OP heroes like Estes for example but mga Rafaela, mga Matilda, maybe you can contest that.
Wow! I was about to say Estes also. Tingnan natin. Kasi nga kung ang isang Chaknu ay merong Estes, si Cadenza meron din. Who knows? They can try to steal it. Let's go into the Smart Picks and Bandier. Game number 2 is upon us. Ang magiging panimula ay, syempre, Wesley was still on the blue. Panay na sanay nila dyan. Nag-tweet si Zico na dire-diretso daw siyang naging first pick at BLACKLIST naman ang sasagot. Here we see the Estes in the show. Shades of game number 1 and BLACKLIST not changing much as well. Valentina in 1-1.
Tinang 1-1 tapos sabay I think ang kanilang last ban was Glue in the third rotation. Edith, interestingly, binaban ng NXPE EVOS dito. Nakita natin the past few days na gana itong Edith na to, yung suplex with a combo with other stuns. Oo, suplex series. So, I will not be surprised if Glue ulit ang ban ng BLACKLIST.
Kung merong hook city, may suplex city.
Right.
I wonder.
Matilda rin pwede rin consider na BLACKLIST ni Matilda.
Yeah, so different ban para mapilitan yung next play pumili.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see. It was a Glue last ban. They're not changing. Wow. Yung pa rin.
Yep. Still have Matilda kung first pick ng next play. Kita naman natin gaano ka-able ang NXP with this hero. Cannot doubt na magaling naman tayo sila. It's just that nakakontra sila ng isang Esmeralda. Maybe they might snatch the Esmeralda para walang sagot ang BLACKLIST. No, yung BLACKLIST kuha sila ngayon ng kanilang Brody tsaka Rafaela.
Still, no? Did they just play the same draft they did earlier? Or kung totoo yung sinasabi mo, what if Brody Esme? Possible, right? Because I'm not sure if NXPE was hesitant them to steal the Rafaela at this point.
Oo. So Rafa pa rin. Brody Rafa.
Perhaps. They can do it.
And if you're NXP, yun nga bro. Esme agad. Pinrahay na nila. Hindi ka na,
Esme talaga,
yes. Tigilan ng NXP na mag-Johit pa. So, I think yung Kufra, tapos Clint ang pwedeng kunin ng NXPE EVOS dito.
Could be. Or Kufra Brody. Could be as well. Because again, the change of play style on Donut seems to have been one of the main impactful or yung mga significant changes from game 1, no? So baka nga, they might prioritize the Brody.
Yep. Kasi prioritize nila yung laning stage na maganda. Yung Aldous kasi, maganda naman siya sa late game, pero sa una talaga, hirap na hirap eh.
Diba? Iba yung ramp up. And I think yun ang kailangan ng next play Evos to close these up. But instead, he gets yung karibal ng Brody in this current metagame in the top echelons of marksman Clint. So they're still taking to the Jawhead game plan, Wolf.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, may shields din kasi yung Jawhead eh. Is it okay? Do you think this is fine?
I don't think so. Kasi kita natin sa previous game na ito talaga yung na-diagnose natin na pipili ng Blacklist sa ng third pick. This time, alam nila na pwedeng kunin yung Esmeralda. So, instead na i-third pick nila, nilagyan nila sa second rotation. And NXPE EVOS, ipipilit pa rin nila itong Jawhead. Can't blame them though kasi mukhang iba talaga yung comfort ni Cadenza sa hero na to.
Well, again, we keep hyping up Cadenza, Kenneth Castro, and he deserves all of it, ladies and gentlemen. Yung galawan niya, it's out of this world, out of the meta. Pero sobrang pasok na pasok sa playstyle ng next play Evos. BLACKLIST International, sino naman ang kukuha ng Aldous? Actually, sila ang nagpauso nito in the professional realms, the competitive scene, and right now they're reclaiming their throne. It's gonna go on Wise, no doubt. It's gonna go on Wise as we go into the second phase.
Binabati ko pala si Rockhart na nag-hotel pa para panoorin itong ating last day. Grabe. Iba talaga si Boss Rockhart. Iba talaga.
Baka naman. Rockhart, and everyone you're hanging out with, padala niyo na yung pangalan. We'll let you know. Thank you so much. Again, if it's a grand finals, this Grand Wolf, I don't think anyone will let it go. Lahat ng MPL casters ay nanonood. Ang buong Pilipinas,
sure yan.
ang madlang MPL community nanonood. Even friends from Brazil are sending me DMs telling me, kumusta, how is it going, the SIBOL national team selections. But back to the real world, let's talk about the draft again. BLACKLIST International banning out Ureshi's Ruby. And next week, instead of picking it up, they'll ban out the Brody. So ngayon, mukhang si Owl ang papahirapan nila.
Yeah. Pupuruhan dito ng BLACKLIST International, which means na magkakaroon ng magandang lane talaga itong Esmeralda. Already, maganda na yung sa Esme. Siguro magbabati mo. Thamus o kaya Yuzong at talagang clear na yung advantage nitong Esmeralda. Or maybe the Paquito. Or they might snatch the Paquito. We don't know. Yun yung mga options sila dito. Taking up itong Esmeralda already. Tapos nakita nila na na-reveal yung mid lane duo ng NXPE EVOS. Parang mas nakakagalaw sila when it comes to the drafting.
And by taking out the Yuzhong, napadali pala, na-neutralize yung pagpapahirap kay Owl dito. Dahil imagine mo naman, ang pangit na natirang hero sa'yo, may Yuzhong pang kakain sa'yo in the mid-game. So, ang sagot naman next play dito, Haji, tawa something new. Tatanggalin yung Eve.
Still Lilia, may nagkunin. Tingin ko kung sila ng Haji hero this time. Na pang-kontra sa Matilda. At good combination with the Rafa. Lilia goes to mind. Kagura din. Mga standard. Check push din ng BLACKLIST International.
Pasok na pasok ang Kagura dito. But they could as well give something to Owl immediately. Para lang hindi na siya mahirapan. And, Wolf, do you think this is Owl here?
Pwede.
Parang mas gusto kong si Owl ko. Again, we keep talking about for the past 6 months, mid-Lunox is not good.
Oo. Pwede kasi para makapag-farm talaga yung Lunox. Yung Aldous. Kasi parang kung Lunox good laner siya, di siya kailangang problemahin itong support duo eventually ng BLACKLIST International. Binabati ko pala si JC Corpus. Hello sa'yo, idol.
JC, si Tags, also send me a message.
Ay, kilala mo yan.
Again, Yappy, we go way back to high school. Again, I told you, madlang Filipino fans, lahat. Worldwide. Nakatutok dito kasi the future of our international tournament career lies on this, no? But wait, let's talk about it. EVOS, actually EVOS, they're closing up their draft and we're seeing new faces here or heroes na hindi natin madalas makita sa current metagame, the Khalid and the carry.
Yep. Sobrang ganda ng Khalid kasi ito yung mga naiwan na good laners versus Esmeralda. Tapos kuha ka ng execute, kaya mong ibully yung Esmeralda in the early stages of the game. Carry, makes a lot of sense kasi ito yung pampatay mo doon sa Aldous. We were talking about that in the previous draft na pwede ko na ng Blacklist pero mas handa sila with Olus. And carry kasi burst damage to, tas true damage, HP based, kayang-kayang tunawin isang Aldous.
And now we're looking for that one more hero. Owl or Haji, hindi natin sure kung alin ang lalabas dito. But whatever it is gonna confirm what the Lunox wants to do. And I don't know. Honestly, given what the previous metagame has dictated, pwede pa rin mag-switch eh. What do you think, Wolf? Pwede ba itong mid Popolin Kupa?
I think so. Pwede, nakita natin. Pero mas maganda siya sa Clint eh, versus the Clint. So maganda ng lane stage na. So Lunox, Rafaela, the classic ones. Maganda rin sa Popol and Kupa is meron kang parang kakaiba yung ano eh. Yung carry, di ba? Parang yung shot selection niya minsan matatangke ng kaya siyang takihin ng Kupa. So pwede siyang maging sagot. That's why I do understand the Popol Kupa in the gold lane. Maganda rin siya versus Clint. Some gold laners will argue na kayang-kaya nung Popol Kupa yung Clint.
Alright, well, looking at the draft here, it looks like BLACKLIST International ang nahanapan ng sagot ng NXPE EVOS. If we're talking about a one-on-one comparison, like counters for counters, logically speaking, nabanggit mo, Wolf, yung Khalid and Esmeralda relationship, you have towards the late game. Again, the carry can go head-to-head with the Aldous, ikakite niya lang, and then eventually masya-shred. Pero nakalimutan natin, baka ito yata yung naging isang early game Aldous sa liga ng MPL and competitive Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Let's go into the game now. Game number 2. NXPE EVOS, they came in with a better draft this time around. Maybe they can steal a game away here. Even the odds 1-1. Here we go. Magsimula si Mr. Del Rosario dito sa kanyang purple at same ang gagawin ni John Paul Salonga.
Ngayon biglang nag-make sense sa akin yung Lunox versus Mateuda tsaka Tito. Kasi masakit talaga siya. Tapos kaya niya, ayun, para sila may sustain. So kung trading ang labanan, lamang ang BLACKLIST International. Ayun, binubuli lang nila. Because of that light mula dun sa Lunox, nahihirapan pumorma itong Matilda at saka itong Johead.
Ang taas ng uptime, no? And nababawi yung up-lane matchup. Ejector onto Haji. He's gonna have to fall here. First blood goes over to NXPE EVOS.
Nice flicker usage mula kay Cadenza. Early pa lang yung paggagamit niya ng flicker pero sulit na yun. Imagine at 50 seconds nagamit mo agad yung flicker mo offensively for your team. That's really good para sa NXPE EVOS.
Yep, plus the fact na naka-pull yourself together siya. So yung bilang niyan ay 90 instead of 120. Let's check out this XP lane matchup. Ureshi versus Dominic. It is the execute, Wolf. Confirmed, execute Khalid niya to.
Yep. Maganda to para sa Khalid for sure. Ang maganda dito kasi since Khalid siya, meron siyang passive, nakakaikot siya as we saw in the mid lane. So after niya ma-fast clear yung lane niya, pumunta siya sa ibang lanes para tumulong sa NXPE EVOS, further bolstering yung kanilang early game composition. Or, pwede rin siya maging bully against sa Esmeralda. Pwede niyang tampayan yung Esmeralda na yan. And wait for him to go to execute range and then win the lane afterwards.
Now, V, binabantayan si Owl dito. Hayes gonna spot him out. Rain down a few blossoms. And there you go! Raging Sandstorm! Massive stun dito ni Haji. But it's not enough. I think NXPE EVOS, alam nilang lamang sila sa early stage of the game. 2 minutes in. That's about 500 gold ahead. Cadenza finally gets one! It's the actual purple! Na-delay na dito si Wise.
Ganda nung club si Tok at ako ng 13.
Yep, but H2O is in trouble! That was a longer fall. Stalik Imam gets the kill. Ureshi gonna try to buy time again. Gonna try to regroup. Missed the opportunity dito. Cadenza hindi pa yata ready yung kanyang ejector. Pero wala naman damage sa mid. So Venus gets away with it.
Also itong jungler sa mga farmer na jungling emblem or mage slayer na ngayon ay demon slayer na tawag. Para sa mga farm heavy ng mga jungler. This wasn't the first time. If I recall, the mga season 5, ginagawa nito.
Oh! Yep, ejector onto one. That's going to be Mr. Del Rosario surviving with just a sliver of health. Magbubuhay pa ang Aldous and they disengage.
Well done from NXP. Actually, taking advantage. Tapos nabibigyan na ng party sa H2. Hindi ganun kalaki naman na BLACKLIST International. And the fact na nakuha nila yung mga turtles, that's very good.
Oh, Donut nabisita sa may bot lane, trying to get the kill on Owl. Instead, he's gonna fall. Nabisita sa may bandang likod ni Venus at ni Haji. Hayes, maybe 1 or 2 seconds too late. That's going to be Dominic. Iniiwan-iwan niya rin yung lane, no? So, medyo maganda rin yung matchup nila. Dito, falling Star Moon, nothing didn't happen. This is the the endless XP fight, yung wala namamatay sa kanila kasi pareho sila sustain.
Yeah. Yung ano kasi, makikita natin mula sa NXP, pag every time na napapawi sila BLACKLIST International, nawawala silang vision, kaya naman nag-go nila yung bottom lane.
Yep. Oh no! Venus looking low. Apple Pisha, Hayes. Napapagsak ng konti. Wise coming in. Chase Fate. Oh, one punch man taken down Hayes. That's a few stacks on the first skill of this Wise. 1 and 3 in 4 minutes. Namang ng 1K ang BLACKLIST International. Cadenza naghahanap dito. That's gonna be the flicker. And the ejector. Papabagsakin dito si Cadenza. Ito na yung mid-game spike na isang Lunox.
Oh no, para sa para sa NXP, hindi nila na-check na nandun na ibang members ng BLACKLIST International. Hinabol nila sa Wise. Understandable naman, may clean sila, tsaka meron silang Jawhead. So, there's a kill potential, pero hindi ulit nila na-scout. Yung vision ng NXPE boss dito, tinatry-dot na sila Leo. At kitang-kita natin na meron silang mga good intentions. Pero dahil wala silang information, hindi nila na-convert into actual kills. In fact, sila pa yung napapunish ng Blacklist.
Yep, which is a far cry from game number 1 na sobrang lamang nila sa vision. This time around, medyo gipit. They have to buy their information with so much resources. And that's gonna be a push down bottom lane. Nakakalamang doon si Owl up top. Ginamit ang Chase Fate para na mag-cross ng river. And they've switched. H2, gonna be farming up here. Tapos sa bottom naman, dito sa mid, si Oreshi would be dangerous. Maganda ito, Ejector, on to 1. Kulang sila ng damage. They're gonna retreat. Cadenza, gonna recall.
Nice usage of the Darkness ulti mula sa Lunox to dash out palayo dun sa initiation ng NXP. Alam natin na siya yung potentially pwedeng i-jump eh.
Yup. And the jumps on NXPE EVOs are lethal, pero dapat mag-all-in sila. And it's so hard to go all-in. Yun nga kung kulang ka ng vision. So, NXPE EVOs, they have to be a little more careful. And BLACKLIST International, they're doing the next best thing, is they're stopping the vision. That's going to be the freaking eagle. Plus an ejector. Owl, not gonna survive this one. Oreshi gets a kill. Masastaan niya yung Festival of Blood. Give me the Chase Fate. Alam ng BLACKLIST International nasaan lahat ng miyembro ng NXPE EVOs. But it might be too late. This top lane, tier 1 might go down. Dalawang nandyan. Si Donut at saka si Hayes. Let's see. Lumito nga pa, honestly, besides the red going down through bottom, NXPE EVOs, pag may pinili silang puntahan, nakukuha nila.
That's right. Meron silang carry, tas Matilda Jawhead. Good lane control. At dominant sila. Kaso yun, sakit talaga ng ESME. Laban sa mga
yung shields! Ang daming shields ni Hayes, kinain lang ni Dominic. 1-0-1 on this Esmeralda na actually, I have to comment as well, nahanap niya yung tempo. Dapat talo siya dun sa laning with Oreshi, right? Pero the fact na nagjajagilan sila, step in, step out, they're okay. Oh no, Ejector by Cadenza, sasaway ng Raging Sandstorm. Why is gonna go down here? Hindi na na-heal no Rafaela, and that's going to be the anti-DJ coming in underneath the one. DL time! Oh my Venus, confirming the kill out to John Paul Salonga. Mababa ang buhay ng mga member ng NXPE EVOs dito. Hindi nila kayang lumaban. It's going to be both teams biding their time. Not a good engage on either side. Pressure is still on.
Sobrang gandang pick-up mga sa Blacklist as they stopped H2 once again. Second death dun sa carry. The combination is there and Haji DD. Sobrang ganda. Ganda kasi na start para dito kay Haji. 3-1 and 3 on the Lunox means at least meron itong COD tsaka kung Lightning Truncheon man o Genius Wand yung kanyang pinili. We'll see. I think yung maganda ditong piliin is yung Genius Wand. Para may pang burst talaga sila gamit yung Haji DD.
Yep, AGDB proved well in the early game. Turtle going over here to BLACKLIST International. Ang huling turtle ng larong ito. 2 minutes until we see the first Lord. Donut masaspatan dito si Wise. And that's gonna be a potential engagement on bottom. Was that a flicker? Ejector, a TikTok play. Taken down out. Ahuli natin yung bandang dulo nung play na iyon. Oreshi getting one more stack. 3-0-1 on this Khalid. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Ang i-go nila yung mid lane. Ito for Haji.
Oh! Forcing out the Order Brilliance from the Lunox. Talik Imam has to retreat. Dominic, apat ang kalaban niya dito. Mabilis ang kakaos na may ilalim ng Tier 1. Hayes pushing on forward 4v2 situation sa may gitna. Tapos ito, si Donut, nagnanakaw ng small creep camps. Gonna let it go. They have other priorities here.
Big shoutouts kay Marlon Marcelo dun sa Peso team sa mga XS. Boss JBU, hello po sa inyo. Sir Brian Lim, hello. Thank you for making this possible. And we're just moments away from crowning our Team SIBOL representative para sa mga national tournaments natin for Mobile Legends. That's crazy to think about.
Yep, this is a historical event, no, that will lead to more history being made in this beloved esport of ours and in this industry. We are at a precipice right now. BLACKLIST International could have been on 1-2. Naspatan nila doon si Hayes. Nabigla si Mr. Bataanon. And right now, next to EVOS, they're scrambling for information. And again, it's a lack of vision. I think it opened up because of the Chase fake.
Exactly. Makikita natin ngayon, igugod nila si Wise. If they get the kills with great. Nice conceal play.
Oh no, that's 3v1. Could be dangerous. Oh, look at the damage on H2! Hindi kinaya. Survive for maybe 1 or 2 more seconds. Pero nahuli na. Ang layo ng ikot ng Blacklist.
Gusto ko dito sa BLACKLIST International, kahit na once na kill doon, di sila nag-overextend. Tinatanggap nila na ay short din na to. Well, next by EVOS, good heads up play. Kailangan na kontrolin yung game, that's why they keep on dominating this mid lane. And they're now gonna make their own version of the Ube.
Exactly what I was gonna say. This is the next play, EVOS Ube strat. Ang bilis nila i-take down tong Lord na to. Mind you, this is a 9-minute Lord. All-Star Moon doon sa may gitna, and that's gonna be all of the skills coming down. DL card! Oh my Venus falls! The Queen is dead! Dominic goes down as well! Here comes Wise! That's going to chase Fate. Wala siya masusuntok doon. And instead, it's a 2 for none. Not much happened on the side of BLACKLIST International, but at least they contested the Lord. Clear win for next play there.
Yeah, clear win para sa next play. In fact, 400 gold lang in the bucket. Nakuha. Genius one, tapos Cloud of Destiny. I wonder kung yung third item niya. Sobrang bilis nung takedown at hindi niya kaya ni Oreshi kasi may knock-up din. So it went to, might go for, after Genius one, baka I think ang pinakamaganda item dito is the Glaive. Para may Ore Crystal. Instead, like Crystal.
Instead, goes for the Truncheon, and now Cadenza gonna go for the Guiding Wind. Nick of time, the very last second moment for Hayes to save him. Pero wait lang. Sabi yata, ang call yata ni Kapitan. Wait lang, kaya pa natin ito. Kailangan natin ito. Conceal play coming in. Lord taken here. It's too late. Let's play EVOS. A little gun shy. BLACKLIST International takes the clean objective.
What a play coming out from Dominic. Itago siya doon, tapos nag-Poly Starman para maharangan yung next play EVOS. So eventually, BLACKLIST secures the Lord. Hindi mo pa rin pwedeng i-doubt yung damage output ng NXPE EVOS. They're just behind by 2,000. At kitang-kita natin meron silang kill threats. If they jump on one, meron kang carry, meron kang Khalid for the execute, and you also have damage from Clint. Also, to add to that, dalawa yung lockdown ng NXPE EVOS, Unstoppable Force, as well as the Circling Eagle. So, kayang-kayang kumuha ng kills ng NXPE EVOS. BLACKLIST, let's see. And they revel into how they will try to push with this story.
Look at this push play by BLACKLIST. Lamang sila dito. They know exactly how to get him. Falling Star Moon onto Hayes. Ma-ejector pa sana para mabuhay pa. But Kapitan has to go down. Bataanon falls. Now mid lane pressured. Top lane as well. May Lord pa sa baba. So yung 6-man ng BLACKLIST ay tumutulong sa push. Eventually to help take down that inhibitor blast para makatulong sa susunod na waves. And to take what they can. Look at this! Ang lalim ni Mr. Del Rosario! What are you doing? The punish on Blue Wise! Haji GG? Will he survive? The answer is no. Despite the holy baptism. Is that worth it though? Double kill plus the inhibitor push! Here we go. Quick, Vanguard still online here for Oreshi. Killing on the threat. Na-push back na ng next play. Ingos, may bawi! One more kill on the Queen. Flicker on out. Our falls as well. This is disastrous. For BLACKLIST International, si Dominic kailangan ng tira.
100% disastrous. Nakuha pa ng double kill si Dominic. Eventually gets the killing spree. Di ba niya nakuha yung triple kill pero bawin-bawin na siya dito. 3-1-5 on this clip. Makakuha sila ng Torre. Maybe just settle for the buffs ngayon kasi wala na mga push. But they only lost 2 turrets. After that, mas nakuha pa sila ng maraming mga kills. I think yung next play EVOS on route na ngayon sa pagbawi. They just have to make sure na madedepensa nila yung mga Torre nila.
To be fair, yes, maganda yung nangyayari para sa next play EVOS, pero ang pwede ko sabihin din is medyo self-destructive siya. Kasi yes, nakalamang sila sa kills, yes, naka-choke sila ng purple, naka-push sa mid, pero dalawang inhibitor yun, Wolf eh. And again, you know what we always say, turrets don't respawn. Is that still a good play in the end, in the long run?
No, I think hindi. Kasi matagal na
parang na-equalize siya, no?
Timers eh. Exactly.
Yeah, na-equalize eh.
They don't wanna let go. I think yung tinest nila, litmus test lang yung BLACKLIST International. They know na afford nila lumalim. And I think gusto talagang gawin ni Haji doon yung Ruby DD play kasi hindi siya naka-Ruby DD. Start lang yung nagawa niya. Kaya doon na yan.
Oh, Dominic, magpupumilit. Okay. Clear answer by Blacklist International now. They're gonna contest this Lord.
And they can easily do it. They have clean. Oh, nice conceal play.
Here we go. Kadende naghahanap ng isa. And they're gonna jump in. Quick stop! Sorry. Rapid Sandstorm not hitting anything. Pero na-force out na rin yung Order of Brilliance. So bilang na sila na ult dito. Bilang na kung ano meron. That's going to be the pinwheels thrown out by H2. And there's the Holy Healing. In, out, time to make a that. Plus the Haji DD coming in. Donut falls. Kadenda as well. 2 for 1 so far. Worth it. Sabi ni Salik Imam. Ureshi falls as well. Owl just throwing these spears. And it was just Hayes and H2, yung mga veterano na yung next play ang natira.
Sobrang ganda ng play na yun. Mid-animation ginamit niya yung darkness, tapos gamit flicker para sobrang sakit ng damage siya tinamaan ng darkness, tapos damage shot mula sa Chaos Bolt was enough. Alam din nila na flicker lang hawak ni Donut, so hindi siya makatakas after nung talon ni Owl. At ginamit yung stun using the first skill. Napakagandang heads up play mula sa Blacklist International. It's so perfect. Connection ni Owl at ni Haji. Hindi nga siya super Haji TV na merong brain defense eh. Talagang dark black yung ginamit niya. Kasi alam niya, worth it kahit mamatay siya doon.
And it bought that free Lord a little bit of a choke and an eventual push. Managing the waves here. Sinisync ng Blacklist International ang top, mid, at bottom. Luminous Lord marching on through top lane. And it's just a matter of time. 48k to 44k. 15 minutes in. It seems, Wolf, ang story ng engagement ng NXPE dito is lamang sila kapag malinaw na alam nila kung nasan yung Blacklist. It's still about that vision. Ang hirap na sitwasyon ng next play.
Exactly. We'll see kung ang i-dedepensa ng NXT. They do have good defense. Pagka talaga sila matatala ni Haji.
They have to choose their fight. Look at where Ureshi is. Ang ganda ng kanyang flank. Dito sa may kanan. Sabi ni Wise, dito tayo. Oh, forcing out the Rampaging Sandstorm. Wala nang ult. Si Ureshi. And he's forced to back out. How he goes eventually. Haji still gets his man. Salik Imam. He's on another level. That's a jump in by Dominic. Falling Star Moon. Nagamit niya na nga dito. That's gonna be a nice way to clear the way. Basta buhay si Donut. Buhay ang pangarap ng next play Evos. But for how much longer? There's the Hagat. That's gonna be one down. Cadenza falls. Ng pakagat ng robot. That's gonna be game number 2. Blacklist International sitting at 2-0.
Sobrang spent ng Lunox stick na to. Haji, Lunox. I mean, we were talking about how hindi na magano kaganda yung mid lane na Lunox. Pero kung babalik tayo sa mga time na sikat ang Johed at Matilda, it was the answer. In fact, yun yung ginagamit nila para hindi makaharap yung Matilda pati itong Johed. And this time, dalawa pa yung Captain. Plus, may pang Esmeralda. So, it's very difficult para sa NXP EVOS na humanap ng place dito with their draft. Plus points na lang talaga na maganda yung connection ng mga members sa Blacklist. Particularly yung di ba yung spear mula sa Popolin Kupa sa may talon. Hindi na Ruby DD, talagang darkness na lang. Sobrang sakit ng damage kasi may Crystal at Genius 1 na si Haji. Well done from this team.
May bago na version ng move na yun, 2022. Haji DD na medyo may may variant. May variant ang Ruby DD play. Let's look at the post-game stats here in just a bit. What eventually their items were and what the numbers are. This game ended in 16 minutes. So, may nahabol yata ang Blacklist. 16 minutes still, just like game number 1, Wolf.
Wow. I'm gonna have to give it to NXP. Maganda yung idea nila going for the carry. Only died 3 times this game, tapos ang taas naman din ng farm. If they have found the opening, kung naging maganda yung mga conceal play nila, kung na-connectan nila yon, it would be great. And I think yung definite na kailangan baguhin dito ng NXP EVOS is how they maintain yung vision. Kasi so far, hindi tayo nakakita ng good vision play coming out from NXP EVOS. Kaya naman, kahit maganda yung idea ng pag-go nila sa mga members ng Blacklist, hindi nila natatapos na re-respond sila ng side ng Blacklist International.
Yep, let's check out the smart plays here. And I love how you put it na in this game, maganda rin naman sana ang ginagawa ni H2. It's just yung context and yung timing niya. Hindi tama. Parang yung Yusun Shin niya nung game number 1, no? You couldn't say anything bad about that Yusun Shin. It's just, in the grander scheme of things, it's not what could have helped them get out of there.
Exactly.
Double Malefic pick up naman pala. Kaya ang sakit ni Ureshi dito. 7 minutes in.
Pares burst down yung gusto mangyari ng NXP at Blacklist. It's just that magic yung sa Blacklist International. Ayun, parang they want to run it down. Kasi alam nila meron silang Circling Eagle tsaka meron silang Unstoppable Force. So, pwede nila sila mag-change stand. So, all they need is sa physical damage, tas talagang i-burst down yung kalaban nila.
Yeah. And so far, in that jack and point or in that coin flip of bursting people down, lamang yung may vision. Kahit na mas magandang engagement na next play, meron pa rin kasing pan-trump yung Blacklist na holy healing. And yon, walang holy healing na umabot kay Wise, kaya nakuha ni H2 yon. That was a preview of what could have happened if nag-late game pa to. So I guess it was in the interest of Blacklist to end it quick. This was a good engagement as well, I think, for Next Play Evo, if I'm not mistaken. Gusto nila yung ganito kaliit na lugar.
Oo. Kasi angat sila dito at mapapanish si Khalid, if I'm not mistaken. You think about it, merong Popolin Kupa tsaka merong Lunok. So you don't wanna stay in this area. Ayan o, nag-prep na sila. Eventually gets the kill on the Khalid. Another jump mula sa Blacklist International. Nakuha naman sila ng kills. Tapos nakuha nila yung Lord. Well done. Kasi ito yun, harangan pa ni Dominic. Good housekeeping from Blacklist International para hindi makaporma ang NXP.
And yun ang meron ng Esmeralda na wala yung mga ibang parang pang housekeeping ng Next Play Evos. Again, they value the Matilda so much. Okay siya pasundo, saka okay siyang pang-confirm ng kills. Pero pag-boundary or putting up a line around your objectives, it's very difficult. So that's something that they may have to consider going into game number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, 2-0 na ang score between Blacklist International and Next Play Evos. Tuloy-tuloy ang laban dito to eventually crown the confirmed list of athletes joining the SIBOL training pool for this year's international events. Once again, this is the 2022 National Team Selection for Mobile Legends Bang Bang powered by Smart. Ako nga po pala si Leo, kasama natin si Wolf. We are the Animals, and we're gonna take a quick break. Huwag kaya alis. Ika nga, yung Sponge Cola, kantang alamat ng 5th year anniversary ng Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Kapit ka lang. Welcome back. You're watching Game 3 in this best of 7 series. This is NXPE EVOS versus BLACKLIST International. We're sitting at 2-0. It seems to be a struggle, but we're with you all the way. Ako nga po pala si Leo sa inyong likod. Kasama na dito si Renmar Santa Cruz, and we'll be bringing you the action. Game number 3, Renmar, you've been watching na unlock ni Haji ang bago niyang move, ang Haji DD. What can NXPE do during game number 3 to try and catch up?
Well, now for NXPE EVOS na pinakita ni Haji na, yes, he makes that Lunox work. Tama yung point na sinabi ni Wolf kanina, medyo nawala na siya sa pabor in the mid lane para sa mga pros natin. But then that just adds to the list of growing problems for NXPE EVOS. Going into the bans, going into the picks, are they gonna keep up the same drafting pattern? Will they keep taking out the Estes, the Cho, and the Edith? Well, for BLACKLIST International, kung kalaban mo BLACKLIST International, ikaw NXPE, I think the bans are all right. Maybe some slight adjustments to the drafting. But right now, yung nag-shine talaga sa BLACKLIST International, and I'm sure you can agree with me here, it's just BLACKLIST being BLACKLIST, their execution and their knowledge with executing in game.
Yep. And so far, wala pang manghanap na anggulo ang NXPE EVOS to make BLACKLIST and readjust. So far, I'm guessing in the draft alone, parang Esmeralda. Esmeralda is key, and maybe it's time to let Hayes play something else. Maybe let the Matilda go. Pero, again, you're put into a corner here. If you open up the Matilda, ano mangyayari, di ba? Parang, ang mangyayari, kukunin yan ng BLACKLIST. So, in that case, what do they do first here? Do they reconsider their picks or their bans?
In terms of the bans, because of the priority bans of the NXPE EVOS being the Estes, understandable, you gotta priority ban that. The Cho, respecting the heck out of Haji's capability with playing his Cho and in the pickoffs. If they're willing to risk it, I'd rather risk letting the Cho in, but then still not giving the Edith. Edith, stats don't lie, has one of the best records right now in the tournament, and especially on the hands of Haji, who has one of the highest win rates with this hero. Di mo talaga pwede ibigay yan. And who knows, what if Dominic, and you wonder XP laner for BLACKLIST International, what if he also has Edith in his pool, which means that's more problems for NXPE EVOS.
Yeah, so sa bans pa lang, sobrang sikip na. Sa bans pa lang, kailangan na lang mag-isip. And if that Edith does come through, kung sino man yun sa kabila, they also have to consider that the Esmeralda is there. There are shields on this Edith. And it might have to be a clean go. Ang galing parang may rock, paper, scissors, may natural na way and order of things, ecosystem sa mga laning phase. And so far, it seems like BLACKLIST has found a way to just find their way in and just do what they want. That's perfect for their play style. NXPE EVOS, they're trying to catch up. We're about to go to game 3 here. The draft is almost upon us. Also, what I'm wondering, first pick pa rin ba ang NXPE EVOS? Because they've been playing first pick for so long now. It seems like that one pick has to affect and has to change things here. First pick, Matilda sila 2 games straight. If ever, Renmar, what are their other alternatives?
Well, in terms of the heroes that they've had a history of first picking, lately, the problem is one of their best first picks, the Glue, as we head into the smart picks and bans, keeps getting taken away by BLACKLIST International. So BLACKLIST International, nakita nila, we've done our homework. So kung hindi nila first pick yung Matilda, tas ibibigay nila yung Matilda sa BLACKLIST International, but now they are gonna be the second pick here, maybe they can get the Jawhead. With BLACKLIST being first pick now, maybe it's time for NXPE EVOS to take away the Esmeralda from BLACKLIST.
Well, already we have a major change going into game number 3. Ito, importante ito. Talagang makakita tayo ng bago. Dahil BLACKLIST ngayon nasa blue side, NXPE EVOS gonna answer back. Of course, they're never letting Donut touch this 1-1. No way.
Yeah. Meron ako narinig na rumors, most likely not true, that all the donut shops all over the world, magkakaroon sila ng bagong flavor ng donut, which is just 1-1. So, I don't think that's true. But, it just goes to show. I mean,
nakuha ko rin yun.
Nakuha
ko rin yung chain text. Nakuha ko rin chain text yan.
Parang limited edition daw.
Oh, baka nga rumor yun kasi hindi ko alam yung number nag-send eh. Pero, it's fine. Smart yung number, by the way. Smart yung number, I know. Let's look at the second bans here. Of course, Estes still taken out. Here's a change already. Tanong tayo ng tanong. Again, insanity is defined by doing the same thing, expecting something new, and already here's something new. Glue, second ban ng Blacklist. Pero ngayon, next play EVOS, they're letting go of the Matilda. So it's becoming Haka Venus so far in phase 1.
Next ban para sa next play EVOS might be the Aldous. Again, we've seen it so many times in the past, going up against Blacklist, trying to take away as much heroes from Venus's pool as much as possible. It's difficult. I mean, there was one draft, I'm just trying to remember what game it was. I think kontra sa RSG yun, kung saan halos lahat ng Venus heroes wala na, or taken away by RSG, biglang Venus shows up with the Diggy play. So, jungle ban here, or maybe a ban for Haji's hero, might be the play here for next play with their last ban.
True, Cho is still open. And first pick Cho whenever it's out, rarely hurts. Ang dami mo pwedeng gawin with a hero like that, especially in the hands of Salik Unam, our Season 8 MVP ni MPL. And there's Esmeralda, alright. So, medyo inaayos nila, Renmar. Tinatanggal nila yung mga natural predator ng mga lineups.
Yeah. And Blacklist in the next pick 3, they might show up and pick up the Aldous, but she made it through? Nakalusot si Valentina?
Okay. Logically speaking, kasi hindi natin siya nabanggit, lulusot siya, pero nakalimutan natin yung assignment, nakalimutan natin yung homework na dapat, in this order of things, tanggalin. But, okay, as Wolf said, and I'm sure you agree, Renmar, there's no trade that is worth it for Valentina. Let's see if next play EVOS can find something. If they can make something work here, 2 solid picks.
Oh my goodness. Halos lahat ng laro dito sa SIBOL 2022, wala si Valentina. Banned yan. Only one game
lang
played.
Lumusot once. Now second time.
Yeah, that was the second time, and that was a win for Greed and NXPE yung pinili nila yung Valentina. So, NXPE, since the Ruby's gone, it does make a lot of sense na Kufra yung pinili nila. They need something that can help stop the dashes of the Valentina. But now again, ito yung factor ng Valentina. Who are you gonna go up against it in the lane? So it's gonna be the Kagura with the double dashes of the Valentina early on. Hayes has to be really careful here not to go home early. Kasi kung mapapauwi ni Haji si Hayes na maaga sa laro na to, that's already gonna be 1.5 level lead potentially kung maganda yung minion wave flow. Wolf was able to explain that the other day. I'm just repeating what he said. That's the power of the Valentina dahil dun sa extra XP passive na meron siya.
Yep, and that's not even considering her actual kit. So lamang on lamang ang kwento dito kung bakit nga ba sobrang prioritized in the ban phase si Valentina. And we'll see in execution. That's basically the theory, right? We only have really mostly theory on Valentina kasi nga binaban siya. Pero ngayon nakalusot. Looking at the closers for the first phase, it's going to be the Brody, and here's the Edith. Renmar, we're not sure if it's going to be a roam Edith or XP lane Edith, but for sure, ang makita natin, Suplex City.
Yeah, Suplex City indeed. All the records of Edith games para sa BLACKLIST International ay nasa kamay ni Haji. But again, there is still that possibility. What if BLACKLIST International is saving an XP lane Edith pick or pabor yung matchup para sa Edith? Now, 2 of the newest heroes in the game nasa kamay ng BLACKLIST International. Madalas wala yan sa RG for a reason. And by the way, Lee Howard Gonzalez is undefeated on this Brony, 5-0. So it's a comfort pick here in SIBOL 2022 for this man. Now, next play EVOS, they pick up Clint. Again, in the meta, it's either Clint or Brody ang magtatapat sa gold lane.
Yep, and this is a solid matchup. Again, it's fair for both. Either has their strengths and their ways to make it through the early game to become more impactful. Let's look at the second phase, though. Next play EVOS, haharangan na nila ang Aldous ni Wise. One of the few early game Aldouses we've ever seen.
Yeah, Aldous gone. Now, again, there's still so many heroes na pwede biliin dito. Ni Wise, one of the hardest. Like, isipin mo, V-Wise, the V-Wise tandem, Mr. and Mrs. Del Rosario, with so many heroes that they have in between them, it's just so difficult to ban. One of the reasons why it's so difficult to ban against Blacklist International. And I'm sure naman na yun din yung iniisip dito ng Next Play EVOS. So they're just taking away the heroes that statistically are incredibly difficult to beat. Wise as Aldous, in terms of all the broadcasted tournaments, major tournaments Blacklist has been part of, if I'm not mistaken, 3 o 4 lang ang total losses. I think it's just 3 or 4 total losses in the entirety of 2021 and this year.
Yeah. Paradigm shifting ang Aldous ni Wise. Let's just put it at that. You can look up in the dictionary what that means. Sometimes I doubt myself what it means, but for sure I know that what Aldous has brought into the game in the hands of Wise. But just the same, we have to note that in this game, or in this series alone, H2 has had his hands on very good junglers. Let's talk about the other jungler, touted as one of the best assassins and most versatile junglers in the game right now, si John Paul Salonga. What does he leave for himself here? Kasi alam natin kahit nabigyan mo na lang siya ng tira, he finds a way to make it work. He's capable of playing those range junglers like Yux and Shin with vision. Mm-hmm. Is that a solid pickup here? I think they do need vision. Kasi yung game to nakita natin gano'n siya nag-struggle eh.
Yeah, definitely the vision will be important, but then one thing to consider for Blacklist International or for NXPE is kung mag-iisan Shin sila, what if ultimate ang Yisan Shin Kunin dito ng Valentina? That means Blacklist will be getting vision. See, that's one of the things you have to consider now pag Valentina ang kalaban mo. And NXPE will really be thinking about their jungler pick. They don't have to pick it now kasi sa sobrang daming pwede pa-counter sa mga jungle picks na bukas.
True. And of course, Blacklist closing off their banning phase with, again, a Saber War Flashbacks. Singapore 2021. But right now, next to EVOS, again, if we're thinking in that direction, dapat hero na to ni Oreshi. This is fourth pick. It's gotta be Oreshi. Unless meron talaga silang pinaplano for H2 and hindi rin. It's the Hayabusa.
Alright, the Hayabusa pickup. One of the heroes back in MPL Philippines Season 8 alongside the Jawhead that Blacklist International would often ban. So considering how 2 of the very tanky junglers are gone for Blacklist International, baka isipin ngayon na next play, maybe at some point, if maganda yung flow nila, maybe H2 will be invading a little bit more. So for the heroes of Wise, it will be interesting to see what he decides to pick up here. If he wants to roll that Paquito jungle, he played one, sure. If they want to play it a little bit safe, something with a bit more range, maybe the Kimmy, and then just pair it up with a good frontliner na pwede makakatulong. But then they decide to pick up the Karina, who is still one of the great picks there for Wise, and they do pick up the Rafaela para kay Venus.
Idinulo ang mga Del Rosario. I'm guessing that's what happened here, and I love it. Honestly, as soon as the Shadow Kill is popped, immunity on the Karina, and then you can re-engage. There's a lot of potentials for punish here. Pero next play, EVOS, meron silang last pick. The strength of the last pick here to close up, and they still need something for good old Oreshi. Na maganda rin sana yung performance on the Khalid. It's just it didn't fall into place. He had solid stacks and was sitting at 3-0-1 into the mid-game kanina. Pero ngayon, natin ano bang kailangan niya? Ano bang open dito?
Actually, iniisip ko nga kung mag-i-Reyna sila eh. Well, with the Esmeralda gone, they need an XP laner who can deal a bit more magic. Whoa. Okay. So sa Paquito, all the magic damage is just going to be coming from one source. It's going to be the Kagura. So in terms of the build path for Blacklist International, they'll be focusing a lot of physical, which means this is going to be a game where in the mid-game, Haze is gonna be the X factor here for NXPE. Pero galing din tayo sa series kung saan si H2 with the Paquito pulled off an incredible 2 versus 5 to help close out the game or keep the game alive for RSG. So I'm sure Blacklist International will do everything they can to respect the capability of H2 and the Paquito. Reshi. Yeah. There's a Hayabusa already. Yeah.
So, bagong siguro to. Ibang Paquito to. But I have one more question. Again, in the face of the Karina. Tama ba tong 4 na physical source ang ilabas na NXPE EVO? But very risky.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, in terms of the basic attacks that they're up again, it's not a basic attack-heavy composition, but yeah, the Karina will be a problem for them, and the fact that they have an Edith and Rafaela, that's a good amount of control. Yung lineup ng Blacklist International, very well-rounded. They have good initiation, they have good pick-off capability, at kayang-kaya din nung backline na mag-peel. The Valentina can dash away, Brody can save himself with the stun, Edith can save with the knock-up, Rafaela, so many things for NXP to consider. Mahirap na laban daw para sa NXP.
We'll see. They do have one comfort pick. They do have Cadenza, Mr. Kenneth Castro on his Cupra. With so many K's and C's. Let's see how they can make this work. Early purple for both sides. Let's go to game number 3.
Yeah, that Cupra of Cadenza going into this game, actually undefeated. So, yeah, that is a comfort pick the Blacklist International needs to respect.
No, ano para to Lasty Jr. or Chakno Jr. Another catch type tank player in the making. I'm loving it. I hope so. Kenneth Castro alias Cadenza sa Cupra, starting it up, putting a line between the jungle on H2 and Venus, the queen themselves. Again, vision game. Let's talk about vision game here, Renmar. Who has it? But wait, look at this owl! Pagpasama pa yata. Flicker already used up 2 minutes before he has that. And next week could use that to their advantage. Let's talk about vision again. Ang hirap pa rin yata para sa next play. They have to take everything honestly.
Yeah, they do. If Cadenza doesn't get to a shrub beforehand, Venus, we know, can just use first skill to check the shrubs, doesn't need to get anywhere close, maybe keep the distance so that if ever andun nga si Cadenza, hindi magkakato, sigurado!
Now, visita dito si Oreshi, flicker burned. Suplex City starting up and opening this bottom lane Lord Turtle up. And now Owl sharing the quad shadow and shadow kill combo with the 2 other members of Blacklist there. And just like that, nice juggle of top lane and bottom lane pressure by Blacklist.
Oh, grabe. Humanit talaga yung mapa natin nung lumipat tayo dun sa top lane. Ganun ka-action doon. And by the way, Leo, it is the Edith XP lane na nilalaro ni Dominic for the first time here in the tournament.
Yeah. It's Suplex City, the XP lane dito, answering a non-jungle Pakito. So there's a few unorthodox picks already or positioning for certain in-demand heroes in this tournament so far. Already 1,000 gold lead, under 1,000 gold lead dito para sa Blacklist. And Ureshi putting on some pressure here onto Dominic. There's the flip, the suplex. And look at this. Hayes, can he survive? Hindi na pipilitin dito ng Blacklist International, but they are going to take this small creep camp.
Yeah, 70 seconds till the next hurdle, so it's going to be a long time. Blacklist International, very small gold lead, but next play Evos will be able to keep it close. Ang dami ng antikiras. So, tignan mo. Bumuo ng antikiras. Ang Blacklist International.
Dreadnought. Classic Dreadnought.
Sorry, Dreadnought
Clash
armor.
of Dreadnoughts. Yeah.
You
get a Dreadnought. You get a Dreadnought.
Yun yung prinaya nila. And this is gonna be difficult for it to cross into the mid to the late game para sa next play Evos. Ang dami ng pang-reduce ng physical attack ng NXPE.
And again, that's where Mr. Bataanon here, Hayes, aka Apple Pisha, doon siya talaga kailangang mag-ilagay X Factor. So we'll see how this Calgary moves. But so far, it's been difficult for him to make any plays. Dahil nga ang bilis ng rotational speed ng team ng Blacklist International, given that they have Rafaela to help with that holy healing. Tignan mo, back in again.
Oh my God, grabe yung dash.
Astimicus Maximus on the Valentina. There's a punish right there. First blood drawn by Hayes.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is, imbis na si... Ay, wait, si Al? Oh, pero nakatakas siya. Imbis na si Kagura yung nakapag-last hit, which anyone who could have gotten the last hit is fine. At the end, si H2 pa rin, the Hayabusa, the jungler got it dahil dun sa ticking damage ng retribution niya. Yung damage over time, that secured the kill. So, I think Blacklist International will be happy about that. Giving early kills to a Hayabusa is never a good thing.
Yeah, and Cadenza catches out, stops that recall, and might even get the kill. Forces out the ult. Tignan natin, mapipigilan ba ni Queen V? Ito, mahuli niya ba? Yes! That's going to be a kill onto Haji. Nabawi nila yun, 1 for 2, plus eternal take by Wise. Dave, nag-aabang. When he burst down these 2 mages. Gonna jump in. Donut to help finish. Down goes the Queen. And that's going to be Haji retreating Next play Evos, they're finding their groove. Renmar, suplex city onto one, escaping Oreshi, flickered to that wall, plus that dash through. Buti na lang, napaka-mobile na isang pakito.
Wow, seeing this matchup of the roamers, Cadenza and Hayes, kontra kay Haji at saka kay Oh My Venus. Especially for Haji and Venus, and also for Hayes, three very experienced players. You're seeing it. And they're all just matching each other sa map rotation, sa pagsagot, sa mga attempts at ganks ng kalaban nila. Owl, the fact that Cadenza was able to pressure him down, but then the response of BLACKLIST to go for it.
Oh, watch
Might
out.
see another one here.
That's a 4v3 situation up top. Pahabol si Hayes. And again, vision, rotation speed, BLACKLIST has it in spades. But so far, next play Evos, given this kill lead, have found their windows. Right now, kumukuha sila for a 40-second turtle. Cadenza, still standing up there. Oh, papasukin siya ni Kumay Venus. Hello, spotted out. Villa Luna, pushing away the tank. And Owl. Owl has done so well to survive, given how many times next play Evos sent people to try and kill this Brody. He only has one death. But the pressure is slowly showing, Slowly, nahihirapan na. Si Owl dito could not get a stun on the donut.
Yeah. Kaya na-force yung 3-man rotation doon, or 2-man rotation for BLACKLIST International para matulungan si Owl. It's gonna be the roamer and the gold laners together in one lane. So next play Evos, naamoy nila. Ang bottom lane mukhang bukas for a gang.
Duplex sitting here, starting it up. In comes Wise. Owl gonna go down first. Off camera kill. Mapapush ni Donut yon. Villa Luna, for about half health, cannot be finished off by Cadenza, but still 100% turtle take rate dito para sa BLACKLIST International. H2 not gonna forfeit a longer retreat.
Blue team has slain the turtle.
Turtle goes to BLACKLIST International. NXPE, it really looked like they could have taken down Dominic. But then it was BLACKLIST International. Naka-rotate sila sa tamang oras at nahuli nila ang Pakito. Next play Evos, and with all those stacking together, the fact that the Pakito went down, not enough, meron pang umiikot galing sa next play Evos. Sa top lane, of course, nabasag nila yung Torres sa top lane. It was an open turtle para sa BLACKLIST.
So far, last turtle na yon, it's gonna turn into a Lord now, about a minute and a half away. Donut picking up here the Berserker's Fury. It's a good game for Donut, gotta say. Ang ganda ng recovery ng batang ito coming in from difficult 2 games so far in the series. In control ang Clint.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, for the lineup for next play Evos, they really have to give a lot of space for this Clint. There'll be a lot of trades na mangyari every team fight. But if next play Evos can just keep their gold laner safe, their Clint safe, para makapag-free hit sa backline, they'll be able to do just that. But Cadenza, kailangan niya hanapin talaga si Wise, because Wise will be doing everything he can to get to the backline para mahuli si Donut.
And once he does get a bead on the Clint, yon, okay na. Pero so far, next play was doing great to protect this Clint. And minsan lumalamang sila. Again, very small lead. Wait lang, H2. Mag-isa dito. Si Wise, kasama na siya ni Dominic. Gonna help clear this wave. Bottom lane. That's a torn apart memory. Onto Cadenza. That's a few stacks. Pero wait lang, hindi pa tapos. Flame shot. Simulan na dito ni Hayes. That's gonna be a concealed play by Cadenza. No targets to be found. Bouncing ball out.
It's gonna be one of those games where one big play, isang malaking team fight, could determine who will control up to the late game. First Lord has spawned. And now, NXPE, BLACKLIST, a very, very close game. BLACKLIST, hinahanap pa rin nila yung opening nila para makabasag ng Torre. Even if Donut had a good game, Owl, despite the 2 early deaths, BLACKLIST ginagawa nila lahat para makahabol yung Brody nila sa farm, which they will need at this point.
Again, next play was having a very melee-heavy lineup. Mas maganda yung mga torn apart memory, pero kailangan i-time well yung paglagay ng stack. And that's Owl putting some on, starting it early. Another push by next play Evos, and a failed engage. Cannot gonna be able to kill Oreshi. Did I speak too soon? Hayes putting up the boundary, protecting his XP laner. Ang ganda na push sa baba. That's going to be a suplex plus an ult here by Dominic. Mapapatay niya ba si Cadenza? Here we go. Flicker used already. Ano niya pa rin? And another. Flicker in plus a suplex. Cannot finish the job. Cannot take down Donut. Dominic, your sacrifice is appreciated. Blacklist International securing the Lord, trading out their XP laners live.
Has been destroyed.
That was just wild by Dominic. Flicker, Cyclone Eye para makakonect yung second skill throw
Red
niya.
Team Hero
What a
has
play,
been
but
slain.
definitely, napatumban ni Owl si Oreshi. International with the Lord. Wow, NXPE have to defend this.
Ang ginawa ni Dominic parang 10-hit combo. Ang dami niyang ginawa. Ang dami niyang kinin. Sunod-sunod.
Yung ulti, yung range para ma-burst yung Kufra, tapos balik sa kay Phyla.
Oh, look at this. Did they try to bait it out? Might have been too much. GL card. Oh, my Venus. Trying to fake out one. Wise finally shut down Donut, but it's a trade. 3-man collapse yata yun. Hayes goes down to Owl. That's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade plus a turtle. Oh, and a turret. I'm sorry. No more turtles in this game. That is a great trade for Blacklist International. Quad Shadow, Shadow Kill. Combo taken in, but Haji still gets can't falls along it out. Aslan, Oto Oreshi, babagsak itong pakita na to. That's a knockout. 4-for-1 in the long run. Blacklist International back in the driver's seat.
Nakakapag-trade ang next play Evos. Nakakapag-trade sila sa kills. The gold is very close. In terms of the item builds, the jungler is not too far from each other. Malapit lang yung farm nila Wise at H2. But right now, NXP Evos are just getting outplayed by Blacklist International. Wala na yung Torres sa gitna. At mas mahirapan na ang NXPE Evos dito kasi baka may chance na ang Blacklist International pumasok sa jungle nila, supresahin sila. They might be contesting this purple buff of H2 a little bit more.
Let's see. Another deep cut here in real time, by the way. Instant replay, nagpe-play yung magandang trade ng Blacklist International. But in real time, medyo mas may confidence na ang Blacklist. Medyo ayaw na lang ulit pilitin ang next play Evos into these less than favorable situations. Again, because of just the nature of their build, their composition here. So far, 37k to 34, 3k gold lead in 12 minutes, 30 seconds to the next Lord. Pero hindi pa rin magawa ng Blacklist International paraan yung top lane. Look, H2 is just managing that.
Yeah. The key here for Blacklist is at least nakuha nila yung mid lane. Yung Torre nila nasa mid, nandun pa. Pero, tatlo, nasa gitna. Para sa dalawang kupanan natin.
Oh, River Bush here. Close call here. Kung nandun lang siguro yung Edith, kung nandun si Dominic, could have been a great engagement. Pero nakaman defense Oreshi doon. Now rotating up into mid lane. Blacklist International has Lord priority. Baka ulitin ni Dominic yun, yung 10-hit combo niya to sacrifice himself for this Luminous Lord. Could be worth it still. He did it once kanina. Ngayon, worth it pa rin yun, Dominic. Wow, look. A beacon. Threat magnet.
Next play Evos. They sent Oreshi to the bottom lane. Tingnan natin. Sino makakuha ng Lord na to?
He's doing it again! Renmar! Dominic's buying time again! Nakuha na nga ni H2. Still a trade, and Donut gonna go down here. Pero wait lang, ma-inhibitor yata, mapapush yata ang Blacklist International. Oh, that's worth it. Next play Evos. They found their trade, they found their window. Now Haji walking into Oreshi here. Not gonna get the kill, but so far so good. Next play Evos. They made lemonade out of lemons.
Sneaky play galing sa NXPE. Binigay na nila yung Lord para sa Blacklist International, pero pala nila kunin yung inhibitor!
Oh no! That's Owl taken down by Oreshi. Mabubuhay pa ba si Hayes? The answer is yes. Oh, that's going to be the Kagura still standing. Oreshi hinahabol dito. Not for long. Haji traded out. 1-for-1. Lord still standing. There's a nice wave going up top. Bottom lane, mapupush yan ito ma-manage ni Dominic. And so far, we're at parity one more time. Not close yung gap. Next play was only behind about 2k.
Yeah, evening things out. Na-pick off nila si Al. And they were able to, next play Evos, na suppress nila ang Blacklist International sa mid lane. Pero mukhang Blacklist makakakuha pa ng Torre dun sa taas.
So clean up crew. This is just Blacklist doing housekeeping, no? Pati bottom lane yata. Unless H2 can say something about it. Nope, too late. Could be the wraparound. Look at this. Oh, naspatan siya. And that's gonna be the knock-up here in the bottom lane. Quad Shadow out. Nanakaw siya ng purple. Wow! Ang bilis. Plowing through the jungle. BLACKLIST International.
Yeah, and this is what we were saying earlier. They want to take away that purple buff for H2. But sabihin ko lang for a moment there, nung nag-dash si Dominic, kala ko yung sa sobrang layo na napuntahan ni H2, akala ko nabato pala ni Dominic. Hindi pala shadow clone, yung nag-teleport lang siya sa shadow clone niya. Pero mukhang binato ni Dominic sa sobrang layo.
Ibang klase suplex.
Approach na yun eh.
Yeah, pero let's talk about how H2 again still has a solid placing despite this difficult situation. His Hayabusa is doing it best. 3-1 and 2. Now look at the items. He's one more away from a full arsenal.
Yeah, it's not a kill-heavy game. Both teams really, lahat ng focus nila on the objectives. He already has the Blade of Despair on the way to the last item, almost fully built. Same thing goes for Wise. And now BLACKLIST trying to consider din yung next play tactic talaga na split push. Oy, conceal play?
Oh no. That's going to be an engagement they not need force. They're gonna walk into Cadenza. Oh, stretching. Sino mahuli dito? Ni Kenneth Castro. No one. That's a false engage. Neither team was in favor there. Okay na rin yun for both teams.
Alam nila, may Lord mag-spawn and it is up again. I love the adjustment of the respawn timer of Lord. Parang bumilis talaga yung laro. Alright,
yep. 8 minutes in. Oh, here we go. That's the Holy Baptism put onto Oreshi. And that's a lot. He put on stacks by Owl. Taking down the Paquito. Down for the count. H2O. Is he gonna fall? Owl gets a double. This Brody is insane. 5, 3, and 4. Parang hindi siya nahirapan sa early game dito rin, Mar. Could it be a steal by Cadenza? Yes! Kenneth Castro! Kenneth Castro! Nanakaw pa yung Lord! This Cupra is on another level! Malalasti mo magnakaw!
Dapat ano na yun? Dapat magandang start na yun para sa BLACKLIST International. 2 kills dun sa bottom lane. Or actually, I think it could have been 3 kills in the bottom lane. They already had the Lord, pero si Cadenza hindi bumitaw sa Lord. Makiklear lang to ng BLACKLIST International though. Pero, tignan mo yung wave stage, Leo. So many waves getting close to the base of NXPE.
Red Mar, hindi lang si H-Tong may lahi. If you know, you know. Si Cadenza, binigyan niya rin, tinuruan niya ng jutsu. What?
Oh man, feeling ko yun nga yung taking damage ng Cursed Helm niya eh.
Yes, or also could have been concussive blast. Or a basic attack.
Baka.
I don't know. Oh. Ang lupit nun, Cadenza. That single-handedly put next to EVOS back in a way where they can defend. Honestly, butas dapat yung bottom lane nila, pero dahil nanakaw ni Cadenza, nahirapan panalo, nag-buy time para pigilan yung BLACKLIST. Amazing.
Hili ko yung BLACKLIST kung nakuha nila yung Lord dun, kalbo na yung base dito ng next play EVOS. Wala na inhibitor turret dyan. And because of that Lord steal, it was saved for NXPE. But don't get us wrong, BLACKLIST International, komportable pa sila sa control nila sa mapa. It's a 4K gold lead. It's a 1-item lead. Conceal movement, but NXPE, they're being careful. But no!
Oh! There's a flicker in. Misses the Holy Baptism. Cadenza gonna go for the counter initiation stretching. Cancel muna. Goes for a conceal play himself. And they disengage. So bilangan tayo. Bilangan ng battle spell. Bilangan ng skill. And so far, no one is committing just yet.
I love the discipline both of these two teams are showing. Naghihintay talaga sila ng opening na mahanap nila. And now with this Lord up here, both teams right now, titignan lang talaga nila yung mga minion waves, shove something, maybe force one out. And looks like that's the plan for next play EVOS, pero makita to ni Dominic.
And Dominic still playing the odd man role. Siya ang nagbabay time, siya ang nagdi-distract. And look at this, papatukin siya ni Del Rosario. This is very dangerous for this Karina. But the rest of next play EVOS disengaging. It seems like they have a plan. Magpapahabol ba sila? There's the suplex. There's the knockup. Pero na-dash out. Na-flickeran out. Ni Ureshi. And they're still continuing. Oh no, Donut looking low. And they disengage. Maghahabulan sila. Parang Tom and Jerry.
The NXPE. Good call to back off there. Kung nag-engage dun sila, Hirap pa manalo sa scenario na yon. You have members of Blacklist International coming from everywhere. Actually, si Haji took the long way around. Parang pang-apat na beses ko na nakita yun na tatakbo ng NXPE, and Haji will always be the one to try and cover the escape route.
Yep. And right now, they may have found the bead onto H2. Can't finish the job. That's going to be H2 retreating. And ngayon, bilang nila na malayo. John Paul Salonga. Tatlo dito. Masa-duplex ang isa. There's a knock-up as well. Cadenza not gonna be long for this world. Immortality pop. Tapos ba nila? The answer is yes. Owl gets the finish onto the Kufra. Kulang yata sila dito ng contest power. Pero wait lang, may masasabi pa yata dito. PH2, John Paul Salonga. Not go for the steal. Hindi mo ulit. Not twice. Immortality pop here on a 2-wise. There's gonna be 2 kills down. For the side of Blacklist International. Mabubuhay pa retreat. Sabi ni Oh My Venus, Owl and P the only ones left. There is a Lord. It looks like it's deja vu pero baliktad. Necklace naman ang nasa loob ng base ngayon ng Blacklist.
Very bad for Blacklist International. What a counter punish by Next Play Evos. May minion wave sila sa gitna. Tignan natin kung makiklear ito ng Blacklist.
And it's just V and Owl. And there's the ulti pop. And that's the immortality as well. Could this be the wipeout? Shadow kill. Ladies and gentlemen, Next Evos is on the board. We're looking at a score of 2-1.
Wow, Next Play Evos. Hindi sila match point ngayon. 2-1 already. What a game by both teams. But most of the game, it was safe to say it was a Blacklist game. The control that they found, the tempo that they had, the tower pushes that they had already. Even though at one point, Next Play Evos were leading in the tower pushes, nakuha nila yung mga Lord. But game-changing moment talaga yung si Cadenza. The fact that nakuha niya yung Lord. We don't know how, but he still got it away from Wise. Kenneth Castro saving the game for NXPE. Pero pagkatapos nun, of course, marami pang ginawa ng Next Play Evos para makapunta sila sa panalo. Donut keeping his distance, really trying to stay safe in the team fights, and the call for NXPE to chase the members of Blacklist International. Pagkatapos nakuha ng Blacklist yung Lord, hinabol na sila ng NXPE. Yung ginawa ng NXPE, it's like something that Blacklist International would do. Na magkocontest ng Lord, hindi nila makuha na Lord, punish it, and it worked out perfectly for NXPE kasi meron nga silang minion waves dumadaan papunta galing sa bottom lane and sa mid lane.
Unbelievable. You're right, Renmar. Exactly. If you ask me where the turning point was, it's that. Yung nanakaw ni Cadenza yung Lord, sunod-sunod na, parang nahirapan humabol. Ang Blacklist, nag-aasim sila. They would go for big 5-man chases, ala Tom and Jerry. And eventually, yung fight na yun na umabot hanggang bottom lane, tapos na diretso ng Next Play, very well orchestrated, very well played, na comeback sila. Let's look at the smart plays here, the highlights. This is still the early game, wherein Next Play was pressuring Blacklist.
Yeah, NXPE, sobrang, mas nag-alaga na sila sa laro na to. A little bit more careful, and they weren't shy with really just going with full, not engages, full disengages. Kahit na mukhang maganda yung mga pwedeng setup makuha ni Cadenza, they were really looking for especially the Valentina of Haji. And if Haji wasn't there, feeling nila, okay, baka ma-sandwich tayo dito, aalis tayo. Good calls by Next Play Evos to leave certain team fights because, again, if they took any of those team fights kung saan nag-disengage sila, Blacklist International could have turned it around.
Yeah, and it's only coming to me now na ang haba pala ng laban na to. Sobrang haba pala ng laban na to. We reached TikTok timers. It seems like mayroong factor na maybe Blacklist needed to reconsider or readjust their strategy based on the timing. Hindi na we're past the point of yung Dreadnought armor play is over. Like kahit nasabi mo naging anti-crash na yan, no doubt, like looking at the highlights, as soon as we reach the late game phase, it's they still hurt even if they're all majority physical, you know?
Yeah. At the end, yung Kagura dito ni Yelly Hayes ang naging isa sa mga laking problema ng Blacklist International. But even naturally, so once we get to this point of the game, you can build as many items. Konting ano na lang yan konting mitigation na lang yan sa mga damage na ibibigay ng kalaban mo. At the end of the day, lahat yan, nakita natin yung masakit talaga. Kahit anong mangyayari, masakit na talaga yung damage nila. It just so happens to be that NXPE again, after 2 games, respecting Blacklist Internationals, again, sharp calling, repositioning, re-engaging tactics, at sila naman nagpakita na kaya din namin yun. Kaya din namin mag-disengage, mag-re-engage, at maghintay ng mas magandang oportunidad kahit na mukhang parang walang mangyayari sa amin dito. Again, Blacklist International set up the Lord perfectly kasi napauwi nila dito si H2. And after popping the immortality of Cadenza, this was a perfectly set up Lord for Blacklist International. They secure it, but then eventually nakabalik si H2. And next play, Evos just got hit by the burst damage of Donut and Apple Pizza, the Kagura and the Clint.
Yep. Eventually, yes, objectives-wise, pero the bodies weren't there anymore. Parang ano pang sasamahan ni Lord kung wala ni mga tao para maghatid sa kanya. And this game ended about 20 seconds. So a little bit past TikTok timers. And just like that, we're seeing shades of the old Next Play Evos from Season 8. They're on the board, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1 now. And again, it's a race to 4. Best of 7 to click that spot to be part of the SIBOL training pool to compete this year, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, hindi pa dyan nagtatapos. Marami pa tayong makitang aksyon dito sa ating grand finals. On behalf of Reptar, Renmar Santa Cruz, my name is Leo. We'll be right back. Kung ano mga tubig, kumain kayo ng dinner dahil haba-haba pa to. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go on a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Nagbabalik ang aksyon. It's time for game number 4. You're watching the grand finals of the SIBOL 2022 National Team Selection Tournament for Mobile Legends. Bang, bang. Kasama ko dito si Renmar Santa Cruz at ako naman si Leo. And we're gonna go into game number 4 here right after Next Play Evos shocked us all, and most especially shocked Blacklist International, mostly on the back of Cadenza. Honestly, that was the turning point, a major turning point, and I'm still figuring it out. Iniisip ko pa rin paano nangyari yon in the grander scheme of things. Kasi in the moment, isa yun na parang nagawa niya. Pero paano nila na-set up yung buong mapa para hindi mabutas yung bottom lane? That's just amazing.
Yeah, man. Everything just aligned perfectly for Next Play Evos na the minion waves were manageable. Nakuha pa rin nila yung Lord. At the same time, the other players at NXPE responded so well to clear up the minion waves that hindi talaga mabutasan ng Blacklist International yung base ng NXPE. And that's one of the biggest reasons na nanalo ang NXPE doon. They understood na, okay guys, kung tayong pupunta sa offensive dito, baka mahirapan tayo doon. Let's go for the counter punch. Let's go for the defensive position and then bang! Go for the counter. And it worked out in the end. One big team fight at the Lord Pit. Kaya nanalo ang NXPE.
And it's a very scientific, or how to say, surgically decided action din para sa Next Play Evos. Para give it up to them. Kasi binigyan nila yung Lord. Pero ang call yata is, sige, ibigay niya yung Lord, pero papatayin natin sila at tatapusin natin, and it worked out. So that's the magic here. That's the genius of the players on the side of Next Play Evos. A majority of them being rookies. But never count that out. Again, it's a rookie that stole a Lord in the face of a world champion, Singakufra. I can't believe I said that. That feels weird coming out of my mouth right now. Pero yan ang katotohanan, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happened here. And that's Cadenza's magical moment right now. Among many grand finals here of the SIBOL National Team Selection Tournament. Let's talk about the draft going into game number 4 here. Nabaliktad na nga. Naging blue side blacklist tayo and then the NXP on the red. Here in game number 4, that may have been one of the major shifts. That may have been one of the major things that changed. Natingin mo ba Blacklist could do better in their draft in the blue side? Because ang ganda sa amin, di ba? On paper, we gave it to them. On paper, silang lamang.
Yeah. I think it's more of just NXP also after like 2 back-to-back losses, they needed that breath of fresh air. Kailangan nila ng bagong yung bagong umpisa. And they got it. Because now going into the red side in that third game, they were able to pick up 2 picks. They got to adjust it a little bit more. So it's just NXPE nakuha nila yung kailangan nila, which was a new way to look at the draft, a new way to look at things. If ever they're gonna switch the sides again, let's see if NXPE mas ready sila, mas adjust if ever babalik nga sila sa blue side first pick.
Yeah. So far, this is also good for next play Eagles, I gotta say, because they needed this momentum jump. They needed this glimmer of hope para makabawi. Kasi nga, long game to eh. Imagine mo naman where your mental would be if you were 3-0 and then match point na. Diba? So this is them pulling from the heart of a champion. Again, we call them the people's champion to start, and that's very evident right now given that we are just at an all-time high for this broadcast, and I think there's more. Kaya kung ako sa inyo guys, tawagin nyo ng mga tropa nyo, sabihin nyo, oy, naglalaro si Cadena, naglalaro si Donut, or if you're also a Blacklist fan, if you're an agent, naglalaro si V, naglalaro si Wise, naglalaro si Out, si Dominic. Again, I'm sure tropa nyo to. Alam kong pangarap nila ito, and it's close, that much closer to coming true. So let them know, use the hashtag, muling lalakad matatagin, hashtag SIBOL powered by Smart. And let's all support these just aspiring athletes. Because no matter who comes out at the end, we have to support them all because they are going to be part of our SIBOL national team. Going back into the draft here, that's one possibility. Again, maybe Blacklist might come back into the red side, and indeed they do. These are the smart picks and bans. Paano naman mag-a-adjust dito ang next play, Renmar? Because so much changed in the bans for game number 3. Paano naman itong game number 4? Mukhang balik tayo sa Haka Venus, Estes out.
Ngayon, NXPE going back into the blue side. Baka titignan ulit nila ang Hayabusa pickup. It wasn't a game-changing pick, but it does help them out. It does add a lot of mobility. Maka-split po sila map control. The risk of Blacklist objective getting stolen away. Well, kung gusto talaga magnakaw ng objectives ang NXPE, was mag-kufra ulit sila. Well, that is what we saw the last game. But I think, posible naman na dalawang Grabe naman kawawa kasi Valentino. Sa sobrang ayaw na talaga makita sa laro si Valentino, 2 beses na ban.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that will be fixed eventually. But for now,
right.
I believe it's more Blacklist's role. Ano yan? Again, the rules are, wag mong hayaang i-trade ang Valentina. But I do have a question for you now that we're waiting for things to pan out. Renmar, we now have a 50-50 win rate on Valentina here at SIBOL.
Oh yeah, hindi na perfect record. 1-for-1 now for the 2 times that she was picked. But now next play was going into their first pick. I'd like to see them pick up something like the Paquito. They banned out the Matilda.
Yan. Hindi siya Valdus.
Valdus. Okay.
Okay. Malinaw. Alright. So first pick Esme. I think this is very good. Very strong. For next play Evos.
Pinakita na ni Dominic ilang beses ang husay niya sa paggamit ng Esmeralda. So kunin kagad yan ng NXPE. And of course, parang dami ng heroes ngayon sa meta na meron silang sariling mga shield, no? So it's really good to have that Esmeralda with you on there. Rafaela bukas pa rin dito para kay Oh My Venus kung gusto nila piliin. Pero madaming bukas para kay Haji. He can play the Cho, he can play the Edith. They can pick up Brody or a Clint here, Blacklist, if they want to secure the marksman right away. Pero tinignan nila ang they do secure the Brody and they also secure the Eve, which flex pick pa rin to para sa Blacklist. Hindi natin sure kung sino maglalaro ng Eve na to.
Mind you, the Cho is still out there, so posible nga, no? Next week, Evos, they swing back with some firepower here in the Hayabusa in the Clint. Now, si Donut talaga. Si Donut on that Clint. Don't sleep on Donut.
Yeah. Clint for Donut. Respectable record there. And now, tingnan natin kung mag-roam pick na dito ang Blacklist or no, not yet. They're saving the roam pick and the jungle pick para sa last picks nila. They pick up the Uranus first, so it's going to be the dead lane matchup of Uranus and Esmeralda. It's going to be about timing. It's going to be about minion wave management para sa mga explainers ng dalawang teams, para kay Ureshi at para kay Dominic. Doon sila lalaman sa timing nila kung paano sila mag-pressure.
Yeah. If there's anything to talk about while we're waiting for the second phase to happen, ang inaabangan kong dynamic dito, na alam naman ng dalawang players na to, again, Oresh and Dominic, very, very talented players, is the fact na yung isolation play. If you isolate an Esmeralda, yes, lalamangan niyo yung Uranus. Pero ang laking nawala dun sa big team fight nung Esmeralda. So they have to figure out that dynamic, that relationship between these two XP laners. Now going into the second phase, look at the respect for Cadenza. Tatanggalin Renmar yung jawhead at ang next play was naman, sige, di nyo ino yung show ni Haji? Fine, we'll take it out as well.
Inisip ko nga sa Blacklist kung tatanggalin nila either yung Kufra or yung Ruby. Kung roamers pa nga ang tatanggalin nila. Oo.
Tingnan natin. I think you're right. You're going the right direction. Could be the Ruby. Could be the Kufra. But they're making the options of one Mr. Bataan smaller. Again, a lot of victories have come off the back of the Sicilian. So now they'll take that out. I think willing silang ibigay ang Kufra ni Cadenza dito.
Yeah. At NXPE EVOS naman, tinanggal nila ang Edith. So, parang sinasabi ng NXPE, fino-force nila, okay, i-flex nga pa yung Eve nyo in terms of either Venus or Haji will play it. Sige, since tatanggalin namin yung Cho, yung Edith, maybe at this point, iniisip na lang Blacklist International, baka mag-Rafaela sila. So that, parang fino-force ng next play EVOS na si Haji, yung mga Eve dito. But Haji, I will still have picks available. It will be unique. Tank picks. But in terms of yung mga tank picks na nakita na natin nilaro ni Haji, the Cho and the Edith, they're both gone. So this might end up being a Rafaela pickup para sa Blacklist.
There's the Yusen Shin, so they'll leave the roaming spot open. Yun ang magiging flex pick nila dito in the second phase. And now, next play EVOS, a lot to consider. Ito yun it's so hard to imagine Cadenza with Rafaela. Ang ganda rin sana kasi pwede sila mag-disengage from those initiations by Blacklist. Pero you're talking about Cadenza here. So you want to give him that Kufra. What else does he have? Since Jawhead ang tinanggal ng Blacklist, if not the Kufra, Akai? I don't think that Akai looks very good in the face of Blacklist lineup right now.
Ruby, they want to be very unique. They can pick up the Grok again para makapag-wild charge sila para maabutan yung Eve if ever. He does have a Grok game with him. So, tingnan na lang natin. Preference na lang. So, yun, Kufra nga.
Ayan pa rin, yung Kufra ni Kenneth Castro Cadenza. That's it. It's still here. So, good old reliable.
No. At ngayon, para sa Blacklist, I'd want to see them pick up a roamer, maybe something similar to a tank kung meron pa nga silang tank option, something with good crowd control. Pero understandable pa rin naman if Blacklist opts to go for the Rafaela, but hey, we're running it back! Okay.
Welcome to Q2 2021.
Oo.
Post 5, Popolin Kupa. And if there's something that's clear right now in this game number 4 is Blacklist International, kanila ang mapa. Ang ganda ng vision nila. They can tell exactly where next play EVOS is. But when you're talking about engagement, you're talking about initiation, again, even in Game 3, specifically Game 3, makikita natin ang ganda ng instincts ng next play EVOS. So, there's no, it's gonna be anything else, right? And Mar, yan na yan Post 5 Popol to. Going to be the roaming Popol.
Yeah, it's going to be a roaming Popol para kayo may Venus. Haji will be getting the Eve, and then of course Brody Reynes says we know which lanes they're going. It gives them that vision, it gives them that control, and yeah, it's going to be the vision game for Blacklist. Susubukan nila na hinto yung momentum dito ni Cadenza. Smart trap placements para sa Popoling Kupa ang kailangan dito ng Blacklist International. I-maximize nila yung Mountain Shocker Vision makukuha nila. Kasi kung hindi nila mahinto ang pag-input ni Cadenza, baka masupresa sila ni Kenneth Castro on the Kufra.
That's always a possibility if you give him heroes like this. Let's go into game number 4. Next Levels looking to even the odds here. Blacklist International threatening a match point victory. That's gonna be the jump. Maaga. Ginaji agad si Cadenza getting on to Oh My Venus on this roaming Popoling Kupa.
Yeah. In a while, average is gonna be the emblem on that. So tingnan natin kung nag-iba yung build ng roaming Popoling Kupa. That underbelt and stuff like that, no?
Yeah. Ang actually nangyayari dito is, alam mo yung pinapost ng mga players kapag may nagagawa silang ganito, parang throwback. Na-miss ko lang kasi. So feeling ko for one John Mar Villaluna, na-miss niya lang kasi. So let's see how they can take advantage of this. Tail us all this time. Pag-iinitan ng next play EVOS si Owl. But look at this! Wow! The reinforcements have come. That's technically a 4-man rotation by Blacklist. Dahil kasama nga si Koopa. And they will buy time. Make space for Owl up top.
Ang sakit nun, I didn't expect for Cadenza's health to be brought down to 65% or 70%. Tapos ang damage output na labas dun. The enhanced basic attack proc mark para kay Popol and Koopa combined with the damage brought out by the Eve. That was surprising. And actually, yung Popol and Koopa, fulfill nila yung na-fulfill niya yung hinahanap ko for the roam picture for BLACKLIST International is kailangan nila ng control. That is what I said earlier. They get a lot of control with the Popol and Koopa.
Yeah. And talking about control, not only in these initiations, but also on the map, rotations-wise, the traps that they lay, BLACKLIST International, and the vision, naka-level 4 na ba? Si Mr. Del Rosario? Oh, answered yes. Cadenza put down a fifth of his health. Bibisitahin siya sa likod ni Omay Venus at ni Haji. And that's going to be the real mutilation set in by Salix Ibam. First blood drawn onto Cadenza. Papasukin naman dito ni Gataanon. Hayes going for the Yinyang overturn. And look how low BLACKLIST International is. Kaya ba nila mag-retreat? Falling Star mo dito ni Ureshi. And there's the shadow kill. Not pop just yet. Back out muna, sabi ni H2. No kills yet for next play EVOS.
And ito yung sinasabi natin now, Dominic being able to freely split push in the bottom lane at the same time. BLACKLIST International, a lot of pressure ay napupunta kay Cadenza. Hindi nila pinapayagan siya na makapwesto na maayos, makapag-rotate na maayos. Pero sa pag-pressure kay Cadenza, nape-pressure din nila si Donut, which is of course, respeto nila yung clint ni Donut, trying to stop the farm as much as possible or ipabagal yung farm dito si Donut.
Yep. So far, first turtle still in contention. Hindi ganun kadali para makuha to ni Wise dahil nakabantay si Ureshi at ang bilis naman din umikot at bumalik ni Hayes. Top lane still seems to be where the action is at dahil pinag-initan talaga ng next play EVOS the Owl. And look at this, Cadenza stretching. Oh, nice steal by Donut on this jungle creep. And just like that, now blindside the next EVOS taking over that first turtle. Now there's the jump in. Dominic looking low. Underneath the turret, meron siyang damage reduction doon. H2 pop. The shadow kill will instead take the crab coin.
Alright. Both teams taking it really slow. Sobrang talino nila sa yung discipline nila sa pag-rotate. When to take fights. Kitang-kita mo talaga yung the carefulness na pinapakita nila kasi again, sobrang importante ito, mahalaga ito para sa mga teams. The right to represent people holding on.
Oh, real relation keeping them in check. Here is Wise Del Rosario charging up and letting go. Interesting. Look at the cut-a-thon. Look at the proxy war, as Wami would put it, between Ureshi and Dominic na may bottom lane. That was a null rotation from both sides. Ang galing talaga dumipenta pareho. Nagkakaintindihan na sila. They know what each other trying to do in this 4-game series so far. Walang one-ups, walang +1.
Oh, grabe yung adjustments ng dalawang teams natin. You said it perfectly, mirroring each other. Next play EVOS, they want to go somewhere. BLACKLIST International, pupunta sa kabila or handa sila mag-responde. Same thing goes for whatever NXPE EVOS decides to do. Ready din ng BLACKLIST. They're able to rotate. Oh man, it's gonna be, feeling ko may low kill score game to, pero it will be, no.
Red team hero has been slain.
Nice catch by H2. John Posalonga catching Del Rosario off guard. Dominic buying time. Oh, dashing on out. Consecration keeping him alive for just long enough. In H2, once more, H2 maybe overextended. Dominic takes him down via the turret. It is going to be Hayes getting bit on as well. Throw in one more. It's the Prism. Malik Imam takes down Hayes. Dati niyang ka-teammate yan under the Omega banner. 1-3 so far. Pero wala nang lamang sa gold ang BLACKLIST International. If anything, nakapag-push pa si Donut sa top lane.
Akala mo yung sequence na yon, talo na ang Blacklist International, na pick off ni H2 si Wise. Pero yung, again, kakasabi lang natin, yung rotation at yung response ng Blacklist International na project pa nila. Consecration on the Uranus, nakapag-heal pa siya, naiwasan niya yung 2-for-2 trade. Naging 2-for-1 trade lang pabor sa Blacklist International. Last hit from the tower ay tumama kay H2.
And it's that long extended play off of the back of Dominic Uranus. Doon niya nakuha doon niya nabili yung time and na-distract yung next play Evos overextending the bottom lane, buying time for this rest back up top. So, Owl talaga, hindi siya magalaw. Like, you could have switched, you could have called for a switch kung nang pressure. Pero sabi na ulit, okay to, kaya natin. Purple, was that a steal? Yes! Nanakaw ni H2, tama.
Oh, no. Dominic. Grabe.
Dominic, he's fine. 2v1 to Dominic's doing well to survive.
Walang purple box si White.
Yeah. They are gonna push though. Cadenza na step up dito ng Mountain Shocker.
Red team turret has been
And
destroyed.
Donut just dealing so much damage wherever he may be. Hindi na depensa ni Dominic yon. And it's still Oreshi. Nag-switch na nga sila. Full-on switch between the gold lane and XP lane.
H2, nakapag-shadow clone siya just in time. Pero real world.
Interesting call here for Blacklist International. Just stopping the rotations from next play Evos.
Dinedelay nila unti. Nag-position sila dito sa may purple buff. H2, kailangan niya din mag-purple buff. White can steal it or pwede sila mag-torrent.
Yeah, they will go ahead and take this tier 2 in top lane. Pero masatando yata sila. Look at this, the flank by next play Evos. Cadenza stretching on, catching one, and looking for the answer. That's going to be Donut at a half health. With Houston Shin, Wise going for the Mount Shocker. Rose Applepisha, he's taken out by Stalik Imam. Kasama niya na rin si Cadenza. That's going to be a double for the Eve.
A big win for Blacklist International. Ito yung mga moments na sinasabi na, baka mahuli pa ito Reshi. Nakatakas.
Close. Pero na-open up nila. Renmar, that was a two-step plan. Top lane, fight, purple buff into a quick lord. 8 minutes, 30 seconds in. Bayad na bayad yung bagong patch.
Grabe yung sequence ng Blacklist doon. He was trying to respond, but they lost so much. They lost the Lord, they lost the tower. Hindi ka na mahuli din dun si H2. Sakit na ng damage ng Brody, ng Blacklist International. At ngayon habang yung Lord pumunta sa top lane, Dominic, he had to pick up Sir Oracle. Kakatulong sa survivability niya. He can keep going to the backline pang disrupt the next play Evos. Baka makatakas pa nga siya. And of course, Cadenza did pick up the anti-Kira, so added 20% damage reduction dun sa physical damage nilalabas ng Blacklist from the YSS, from the Brody. Pero sigurado, nakita na natin, mahirap na depensa to para sa NXPE.
They're gonna have to clear the waves. The old-fashioned... Pero look at the top lane, wow! Pumutok na yung inhibitor, pero hindi pa rin sapat. Gonna be next in mid, rejuvenation, Cadenza, papasok, pero siya, ang sasalubungin, at gonna be an explosion on the side of next Evos, and, for the part memory, kulang ang stacks. Pero walang mamamatay sa side ng Blacklist International. They take top lane inhibitor.
Was not able to stop the ultimate of the Eve. Wow, picture-perfect initiation yun para sa NXPE. But right now, dahil sa gold lead ng Blacklist, even with a picture-perfect initiation, mahirap pa ipatumbang ang members ng Blacklist. Mataas yung damage output nila.
Now burst down ni Haji at ni Owl si H2. Salonga bites it. And just like that, they bought more time. Owl is gonna steal the orange here. Venus, Villaluna, going to focus on this mid-lane turret. Mawawala si Kupa. So my question is, wait lang, sagutin natin yan after this real illumination engagement. Underneath the inhibitor, that's another kill, potentially, waiting for more. Hindi nakuha. He's gonna dash on through. No more inhibitors for next play, Evos. Very surgical approach by Blacklist International.
Yan. three people I want to put a lot of focus onto here. Si Aul, si Haji, at saka si Wise. Ilang beses na sinusubukan ni H2 of course, asarin yung backline ng BLACKLIST International, try to deal a bit of damage, land those marks, baka makahanap siya ng opening. But somehow, Haji, Wise, and Aul, parang hinintay lang talaga nila yung mga sobrang mabilisan na attempts ni H2 na makapasok to try and deal damage. Kasi yung na-pick off doon si H2, that was a long-range, torn apart memory. Ang dami niyang damage nakuha in that 1 second na tumalon siya sa mga miyembro ng BLACKLIST International. So, BLACKLIST still really watching out for H2, knowing that the Hayabusa can come and punish them kung hindi sila mag-ingat at kung hindi nila ahintuli siya.
Mountain Shocker here to make sure that his lord take is safe. Dominic buying time from the top lane. Linalayo si H2. John Cosologa cannot respond. Not a Luminous Lord just yet, but look at this. Real Revelation, Cadenza. Hindi magsasurvive dito sa ult ni Haji. And they're continuing the fight. That's going to be a jump down onto Hayes. That's going to be the cleanse and the retreat. May flicker pa itong Kagura na to. So they're okay. 4-man defense against BLACKLIST International's assault. Lord coming up in about 3 seconds here. Oh, they get the stacks. Donut goes down. It's just 3 defenders on the side of NXPE EVOS. They do take some down on the way. Immortality's popped. Oreshi taken down. And the base is gonna be no more. BLACKLIST International is at match point. 3-1.
An attempt by NXPE. Big yin-yang overturn. Pero sa panahon na yon, ang taas na ng Magic defense. Mas marami na rin items doon ang BLACKLIST International and Popol and Koopa roam. Oh my Venus, still making things like that work. Surprising pickup, but then again, yeah, the control that they need, the extra stun, the fact that they also have that on the Brody, the traps for the slows, played very, very well by BLACKLIST International.
Na-miss ko lang. Villa Luna 2022. Check it out. Here's the post-game stats. 12 minutes, 28 seconds. Wala palang immortality. I stand corrected, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that the spikes in the health of BLACKLIST International in that last siege, I could have sworn meron sila immortality, but I forgot. It's just 12 minutes in. So bare minimum pa lang ang mga core items nila dito to finish the job. It's just they went in, they initiated the final push in such perfect order. Wow! Wala pa walang immortality doon. So kumakapit lang sila. Alam lang nila na kaya na matapos given that they have 3 marksmen.
Yeah, 3 marksmen indeed, and especially with the Encourage blessing para sa Popol and Koopa. Kaya ang bilis ng basic attack speed ni Wise at saka ni Owl.
Right. You're right. This is Encourage. This is not Conceal. This is not Dire Hit. So talagang plano nila. Fast finish.
Yep. Exactly so. And Haji, smart positioning time and time again, still showing us why he's one of the best EVE players in the world. Naging problema talaga ito para sa NXPE. Ilang beses nila sinubukan makatakas, makapag-engage na maayos, but then the smart positioning of Haji just made it a problem. And again, nakita natin kung bakit si Clint at si Brody ngayon ang dalawa sa mga pinaka-valuable na gold laner sa meta. Of course, the raw damage of the Clint and the fact that the second skill capabilities ni Clint at saka ni Brody is pretty the same. Brody, of course, is a stun, immobilize para kay Clint, naka-distansya sila. And that stun, yung second skill, Corrosive Strike ni Owl, I swear that there could have been so many times, I think mga 3 or 4 times nakita natin na si H2, susubukan niya lapitan yung backline, but then Owl, handang-handa siya with that second skill. So even if the Shadow Clone away, may mabilisan na mo, siguro isipin natin mga 1 segundo na masastun si H2, tas madadamage lang siya ng Blacklist, makaka-Shadow Clone si H2, pero kailangan din umalis ni H2.
So it's in this game na nagamit ni Blacklist yung strategy niya eventually nung Game 3. Nung Game 3, ito yung gusto nila na parang i-juggle yung damage sources ng next play. But now it's better executed. No, looking at their draft from game number 3, let's do that. Hindi yata kasing sound yung damage source nila. Pero ngayon with the 3 marksmen, ito na yung perfect way to punish. Ito yung perfect swing back. No, and it was very surgically done, very calculated. And I think that's how you should do it with marksmen, with 3 marksmen specifically. Kasi it could just literally collapse so easily. It could have gone wrong so many ways. Lalo na't merong cadenza on that Kufra, and kung ma-isolate ni H2, which he did. I think he isolated a few of them very well, specifically si Wise kanina. Pero when it comes down to the team fights, ang ganda lang ng pagkaka-split up.
Yeah. At saka yung, again, the vision game for Blacklist International came in big. Yung mga trap placements ni Oh My Venus, perfect. And of course, the timing for the Mountain Shockers as well, perfect for Blacklist International. Nakita mo, pretty much this is what a lot of YSS players do. But the fact that Blacklist can respond to it so fast na, Mountain Shocker, okay, info, can we start a fight? Pwede ba tayo mag-engage dito? Okay, let's go for it. Kakatapos ng team fight, let's use a Mountain Shocker maybe to keep them away, pero at the same time, tignan natin kasi baka biglang merong umiikot sa likod natin. We can use the Mountain Shocker to help cover our escape. So it's just great vision timings from Blacklist as a whole. And we're seeing here, even though, again, it's a Wise game wherein he's not one of the flashiest junglers, but we see why he's the best jungler in the world as it stands in terms of being able to farm up, getting his farm, understanding what he needs to do for his team. If he isn't gonna be the one to get the kills, okay, ano yung hero kit ko? Bibigay ako ng vision, damage from afar, and Wise was able to deliver that perfectly. And Blacklist did this as a team incredibly well.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, isang laban na lang. Kung papanalo to ng Blacklist International, tapos na. But I'm pretty sure there's something left in the tank for NXPE EVOS fans. The NXPE EVOS fam, supportan nyo sila. Share the stream, let them know that you're here for Ureshi, for Cadenza, for Donut, for the rest of the team. I just mentioned the rookies because they're the ones who are really playing out of their minds. I'm sure Hayes and H2 are also doing their best. But really, they've all done their best to show us and to steal our hearts in this series. Ladies and gentlemen, kami magbabalik. We're gonna go a quick break. When we come back, it's gonna be game 5 in this best of 7 series. There's a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen. This is my partner, Renmar Santa Cruz. Ako nga po pala si Leo. We'll be right back.
sa Gigas Mania! Ready na ba kayo sa grand raffle prizes ng Giga Mania?
Samsung set, Apple set, and Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid.
Para maging yours, download the Giga Life app and register sa Gigas Mania! Ready na ba kayo sa grand raffle prizes ng Giga Mania?
Samsung set, Apple set, and Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid.
Para maging yours, download the GigaLife app and register sa Gigamania! Ready na ba kayo sa grand raffle prizes ng Gigamania?
Samsung set, Apple set, and Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid.
Para maging yours, download the GigaLife app and register sa Gigamania! Ready na ba kayo sa grand raffle prizes ng Gigamania?
Samsung set, Apple set, and Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid.
Para maging yours, download the GigaLife app and register sa Gigamania! Ready na ba kayo sa
Here we are at match point. BLACKLIST International leading, sitting at 3-1 against NXPE EVOS. At your service, ako nga po pala si Leo kasama dito si Renmar Santa Cruz. At ito ang Grand Finals ng SIBOL National Team Selection for 2022. The sport of Mobile Legends Bang Bang powered by Smart. Campus ko lang. Nagamit ulit ni Oh My Venus ang Popolin Kupa in game number 4. It seems like Popolin Kupa slowly clawing his way, or their way, back into the S tier of hero dahil sa kanyang flexibility. What could NXPE EVOS do here, Renmar, in game number 5 to stop BLACKLIST from ending this series quick?
At this point, for NXPE EVOS, it's gonna play it light. If they can get comforts that make a lot of sense, go for it. I mean, they got Cadenza on it, but then again, with BLACKLIST, with their flexibility, and there's so many things now, even more to consider. We have not, ang tagal na natin din nakakita ng Popolin Kupa, Rome. Ilang buwan. I think na hindi na siya masyado nagamit at some point in MPL Philippines Season 8. Early on in Season 8, biglang nawala na siya sa picking order. So now for NXPE, just go into it light and still try not to give up. Do your best. Pick your best picks as much as possible if you can. That still makes sense to still answer a lot of what BLACKLIST International can do.
Yeah, I think order of business, talagang bigyan mo ng comfort si Donut at si Cadenza. That's number 1. Rule number 1, give Cadenza and Donut something good. Tapos to follow. For Haynes and H2, they're super reliable. You give them the heroes that they need or what the team needs. And it's usually them eh. It's one or the other na linalagay sa dulo ng draft. So that being said, I think malinaw naman kay Zico, kay Coach Zico at kay Coach Doggy ng NXPE EVOS kung anong kailangan nilang gawin dito. So for BLACKLIST International, I think by choosing what tank to give Cadenza, mas gumaganda yung chances nila. Sobrang clutch ng Joe ban yung second phase ng Game 4.
Yeah. They understand, of course, going up against another team that plays somewhat similar to NXPE, yung RSG. BLACKLIST International actually did a lot para mahinto in the draft and in-game yung flow ni Light. So it seems like BLACKLIST, yun yung parang framework nila dito para sa laban na to ngayon na ganoon din yung approach. Yes, of course, ang dami pa rin mga miyembro ng NXPE na kailangan mo talaga mag-ingat na kalaban. Pero for Light with, not Light, but Cadenza, with what he brings to the table and how important he is para sa rotations at flow ng NXPE EVOS, yeah, BLACKLIST says, susubukan namin lahat para ma-shut down siya. Actually, really like the fact that BLACKLIST went for the Sicilian ban there at the end. I feel like it was an option there for NXPE, and it makes sense dahil nga it was a tell that they were gonna go for a backline heavy composition. Sobrang backline heavy ng BLACKLIST noon. The YSS, the Brody, the Popolin Kupa, and then the Eve. The fact that, yes, na-nerf yung damage ng Popolin Kupa, but Kupa, the little dog, gets 100% of the basic attack speed ng ni Popol. That's why the encourage along with the two marksmen worked so well para sa BLACKLIST.
Tignan natin kung ano nga ba mga judgments ang mangyayari dito. Let's go into the draft. These are your smart picks and bans. It's BLACKLIST on the blue again, just like game number 4. So ito na. Kung gustong makakuha ulit ng point ng NXPE EVOS, they are going on the right track. They are on the red. NXPE EVOS, they are gonna answer back after BLACKLIST takes down the 1-1 na, again, isang donut special.
Let's see how the bans are gonna go this time around, nung game number 3, the bans for Blacklist on the blue side, 1-1, Glue and Ruby. Para sa NXPE naman, tinanggal nila yung Estes, Matilda, and Esmeralda. Pero ngayon, tinanggal nila ang Aldous. So, it seems like Esmeralda baka may yung maging next ban dito ng Next Play EVOS. Again, Dominic with those Esme games have been great. So let's see if that will be the next ban for NXPE. I feel like para sa dalawang teams na to, hindi nila kailangan masyado i-adjust yung bans nila. I'm actually okay if Blacklist decide to ban out the Ruby again. And they do.
Yeah,
Ban out the
nila
Ruby.
na pag nabigyan mo yung Ruby, it's all the more disruptive. Yun, disruption kasi ang handog ng isang Ruby.
Yeah. And the teams that have beaten Blacklist in the past, especially here, have been on the backs of really great Rubies as well. And I think para sa lahat ng mga teams, Ruby is just so disruptive. Just overall as a pick, na kung merong isang team na kung ganun talaga yung playstyle nila, that's something that they love to do, dapat tanggalin talaga yung Ruby pick na yan. So yeah, for NXPE, just either the Matilda or the Esmeralda yung baban nila dito unless they will surprise with their last ban.
It's the Eve. So ang nagbago to for Next Play EVOS, it used to be the Esmeralda and the Matilda. So yun, slowly nag-adjust na sila. They learned from, well, again, every time you give Haji the Eve, things happen. Good things happen for Blacklist. Pero ngayon, round 2, how about it? Gustong i-correct ng Blacklist yung win rate ng isang Valentina. It's open again. Blacklist, first pick.
Yeah. You got appreciation for the bravery of Next Play EVOS. Of course, sila nga ang nagbigay ng unang talo ni Valentina sa SIBOL 2022 National Team Selection. So, papag-isipan nila ulit. Might be another Kufra pickup for NXPE or try to take away something that works well for Blacklist International. Might pick up the Edith for themselves for one of the first 2 picks or secure either the Clint or the Brody. Tas kung gusto nila, baka inisip nila mag-Matilda. But Esmeralda is also open as well. So Esmeralda might be an option here para sa first 2 picks nila. Oh, okay. Brody and Matilda is the pick for Blacklist International. Sinigure na nila ang gold laner nila at saka yung roamer.
Well, we don't know. This could still be King Hayes.
yeah.
Diba? Yung specialty nila eh. Yung Donut Sundo special. Kailangan nilang sunduin yung kanilang golden boy. Ika nga. And it's worked out for them so far. They made it to the grand finals off the back of this dynamic.
Yeah. So, hard tank para sa NXPE. Probably what they're looking at. I wonder if mag-jawhead sila for the third pick. Still a possibility. But the fact na Esmeralda is picked up by Blacklist International, jawhead might be tough. Oo, hirap.
Yeah.
Siguro play it safe na lang, no? Kufra na lang ulit para kay Cadenza.
That's an option. But well, si Cho is still open. Yeah, that's very dangerous.
Oo.
Cho is open, pero with this kasi parang medyo inaintindihan mo baka hindi na mag-Cho yung Blacklist. Kasi nga meron ng Valentina si Haji, but they can switch it up. Again, that's what makes this dynamic between the MVP machine and the Queen so lethal.
Yeah. And now, hintay na lang natin. Kung hindi pa sila pipili dito ng roam pick, kukunin nila ang Sicilian. So, it will be a Matilda roamer para kay Cadenza. First record niya gamit ang Matilda dito sa SIBOL 2022. And now, meron din silang Sicilian. So, yung range na hinahanap ng Next Play EVOS nung huling laban, they will get it. One of the best picks statistically para kay Hayes right now in this tournament. So, dahil maganda yung reach nila, they want to reduce the range that Next Play EVOS has. Pero yung last ban dito ng NXPE might be it can be a fighter kasi tinanggal na nila siguro Edith. They'll look into it. But then with the rate right now, Haji yung huling naglaro ng Valentina, still could be a chance though that they will switch things up. Bukas pa yung mga roamers eh. So this could be Venus's first game para sa Eve, tas yung isang tank roamer mapupunta sa kamay ni Haji. So it's a smart ban para sa NXP Evos, taking away the Lolita just in case na okay, baka kay Haji nga mapupunta yung Valentina. Let's try to take away Oh My Venus hero, but then at the same time, range and poke damage, projectiles para kay NXPE. It was a safe ban to take away the Lolita.
Yep, it's at the point in the draft wherein ko-corner rin lang yung kalaban or at least control the factors that you can. And both teams, both drafters, both coaches understand this so well. Kudos to Coach Zico and to Coach Bonchan, and of course their backups. Coach Doggy, Coach Master the Basics, and si Dexstar. You can never count out the support that a team has. It's not just the athletes on the field that's doing work here. Last ban by Blacklist, going to be that Lancelot. So, is this them telegraphing Renmar? Make my day. Sige, maghaya ka ulit. Uy, pero hindi. Sa Pakiro!
Well, baka XP lane Pakito yan. Again, they could swap things out, but having the Matilda and the Pakito together, I like it. Roaming around along with the Sicilian. Masakit na duo yan. And it does add to the mobility that the Pakito can give in for quick rotations. But let's see. It is a fourth pick, flex pick for NXPE. Roamers is what they need. Edith or Cho kung si Haji yung maglalaro. But then if they wanna avoid the damage, the range that they can dish out Blacklist, Rafaela would make sense. Get that heal, help the Clint, extra mobility, and heal as well para sa Valentina, which would be big. Plus, good pair for the Barats.
Yep, so meron na silang pantigil dun sa Pakito and the eventual engages by the Matilda. That is, more likely looking on Cadenza. Baka nga, ito na ang maiden voyage ng Cadenza Airlines. Last pick for the side of Next Play Evos, we still need a hero for either Ureshi or H2O. And confirm, John Paul Salonga. How about one more time? Tala natin yung carry. Closing up the draft.
Yeah, they had to pick up the carry dahil Barats nga yung core dito ng Blacklist International, and it's really just to answer the Barats and the flexibility and the tankiness that he got. Well, also the Esmeralda. So sinasabi ng Next Play Evos na yun talaga yung tinitignan nila dito as the biggest threats to their lineup, which is understandable. Ang squishy ng lineup ng Next Play Evos, and you have two very high sustained frontliners, yung isa pang jungler. So it makes sense for that last pickup, but it's one of those lineups that, dare I say, for NXPE look kind of greedy. Dahil sa Sicilian, dahil sa carry, dahil sa Brody. That's a lot of time na kailangan ng NXPE.
Napaka-expensive. If I recall correctly, the last time we saw, well, at least in the pro scene, was MPL Season 8. It was by Echo Philippines na nag-carry at nag-Sicilian sila. It wasn't the age of Sicilian just yet. Very out of meta pa si Sicilian doon. And it was expensive then. How about now? Lalo na Brody, we'll find out. For Blacklist though, I gotta say, yung Valentina, I think this is one of the reasons why naging Pakito carry ito, Renmar. Besides the fact that it's an answer to the Barats, is, mo, ang daming turf nila na hindi magagamit ni Haji.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, H2 running the Demon Slayer /
Mage
Killer emblem. Yeah, the old name.
Yeah, tell me you're old without saying you're old.
Yeah. Nalala ko pa nung Mage Killer yan. Anong Demon Slayer? Demon Slayer.
You were saying?
Yeah, for NXPE Evos, it's gonna be a different brand of NXPE that we're seeing. Hindi naman sa hindi sila makaka-engage. Sobrang bilang lang talaga yung mga oras na pwede sila mag-engage. So I actually like this adjustment here. Why? Sinubukan niya kunin yung Rock Ursa. Not sure was able to get it, pero since around same level sila dalawa ni Carry, I think it was wise was able to get the Rock Ursa there. Yeah, kailangan talaga maghintay dito ng NXPE. They can't be too aggressive. But if they have an opening, maybe they'll be able to win a small skirmish, isa o dalawang kills. Pero a full-on team fight, medyo malabo pa sa may early game yan. Siguro mga 10 to 12 minutes in, that's when we'll see NXPE was ready. If they keep it close, ready to take a big fight.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of the late Season 8 NXPE kung saan minsan nilalagay nila si H2O sa isang Nathan. But right now, look at this. Deathness welcome on to H2. Where are you going? Kamunti ka na, may backup. Ang next play Evos dito. Hayes and Oreshi stopping the first kill. Uy, ano pala si Dominic? Ang lalim. Proxy wars na nga. Sinimula ni Dominic agad. Lalim. It's going to be a early turtle positioning here for Wise.
Gusto niya siya yung mauuna sa turtle positioning ni Gasky. Oy! That'll be Joe.
Oh, Hayes! At about half his health, Dominic charging up the Falling Star Moon. Tutulong na lang yata sa pagkuha ng Lord dito, but nope. Gonna go around. Flank! H2 here. Wise taking the turtle buff here. Shielded up ang BLACKLIST International. Instead, they're gonna try to deny the purple. Nako, out of shape yata ang next play Evos para pumilit dito ha. Mababa ng buhay nila, especially Hayes. Hayes and Cadenza. Not in a good position here. Retribution right in H2's face. That's gonna be tough.
And this is what's tough against a lineup na may carry jungle. You're up against a Baron jungle who already got the first turtle of the game. Nanakaw pa yung buff mo. This extends the time until we see next play Evos ready to really take it to BLACKLIST International. But if they are, how ready are their damage dealers? How ready to deal damage to the Baron? Gano'n ka ready to Donut on the Brody to deal damage? Next, NXPE Evos here, yes, sinusubukan nila protektahan si H2, pero just as equally, kailangan din nila tulungan si Donut kasi siya yung isa magiging late game security talaga dito, or even mid game if they can really help him farm up very quickly.
Yeah, and so far, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult. BLACKLIST International ahead by about 800 to 1,000 gold at any given time in this 3-minute, 30 seconds game. Bottom lane, napapadalas ang bisita ni ni H2 dito. And I think it's because they're trying to go for the turtle still. Alam nila pag naka-turtle sila dito, ang ganda. Parang yung rampa lang sila nung game number 3. And right now, parang nag-iba yata ang ihip ng hangin. Hindi na gano'ng kahirap ang buhay ni Owl. Oh, the claws though. Ang ganda talaga. Na-imagine ko na yung late game ng next play Evos. Kung kunyari, makating tayo doon, ang ganda no Sanguine Claws for this very melee, very back line heavy lineup ng BLACKLIST.
Exactly. And that's why kailangan lang talaga kumapit dito ng NXPE Evos. Not let BLACKLIST International to completely run away with it, but BLACKLIST International, ginagawa nila yung mga tamang moves, iniinto nila at dinidisrupt nila yung farm ni H2. Pero at that time, at least, nakuha na yung H2 yung purple buff niya, but hindi pa rin makaka-contest dito ang NXPE Evos. Again, I'm giving at around this time, maybe around 8 to 10 minutes for NXPE Evos to be ready to go up against BLACKLIST. If NXPE Evos lose another team fight, make that closer to 10 to 12 minutes. So, rapid game talaga for NXPE.
So, every team fight na matalo nila, or every death, or every stumble, it adds a minute or two to their eventual mid-game or late-game spike. So, kailangan i-consider yan. Ang lalim ng cut ni Oreshi. Ang dami niya nagagawa dito dahil ito lang ang kaya niyang gawin because he's not gonna see Dominic. They're trying to do the same thing, both of them. And right now, at least bottom lane is a little safe. Like, top lane ang totoong laban dito. First blood family after 5 minutes. Oh my beat! Villa Luna taking down Donut. Now Cadenza holding on. Mapapatay pa siya dito. There's the shield set in. Now Hayes can survive as well. At least it's damage control. They could have lost so much more. And right now, again, dito na nakaharap ng farm si H2. John Paul Salonga in bottom lane. Yun nakawa niya at least sa bottom lane, sa bottom camp, bottom jungle, si Wise. But the damage is done. Look at top lane. Wow, 2K ahead na ang BLACKLIST International.
Red team turret has been destroyed.
Sobrang baba pa ng damage ng NXPE Evos. BLACKLIST, they're just naturally scaling so fast. Sa lineup nila, nakalabas na si Owl sa lane. Level 8 compared to the level 7 of the Brody, but mas na-maximize ni Donut, ni Owl rather, yung mga gold pwede niya kunin in lane. And NXPE, this is what they're getting. Expected naman to sa lineup nila, and with what BLACKLIST International acknowledged. Kaya ang bilis ng tempo ng BLACKLIST sa pag-play, sa pag-back ng mga tore. At another tower for Owl. More gold for the flint.
Yep. And right now, Dominic matatamaan ng Circling Eagle and a knock-up by Ureshi. Pero hindi nila matapos dito. Dominic still alive. There's a turtle. Last turtle, potentially, of this game. And Owl is just pushing. Pinamataan siya dito. Binabantayan ni Oh My Venus. And so far, objectives have been easy for BLACKLIST International in this 6-minute 50 seconds game. Ureshi 1v1 with Esmeralda. Sumasayo isa, sumusuntok naman yung kalaban niya. H2, gonna come in, take this crab coin. And this is as free as it gets for H2. Ito na yung pinakamadaling mga parts ng buhay ni H2 sa early game.
Able to get that crab coin there. And parang yung heat map ng laro natin madalas dito sa purple top. The next play was just around this area. But NXPE, see there, they have to roam around together. Pinoprotektahan nila ni Donut. Kailangan din nila protektahan unti-unti si H2. So, yun yung sinusubukan i-juggle ng NXPE boss kung sino yung marksman na tutulungan nila o mas titigitan nila para makukuha ng resources muna.
So this nag-ult si Hayes or nag-ult si Haji. Parang si Hayes. And off-camera kill by Donut onto Owl. Interesting na. What was that? Oh, tinulungan siya ni Cadenza. There you go. So talagang yung dynamic ng Hatid Matilda. At least they find the kill here. Trying to close the gap. Okay.
Dalawang ultimates na expend ko ni Cadenza and Donut para ma-take down si Owl. Pero they needed that. They needed that win for Donut. At kailangan nila unti ihinto yung momentum ni Owl, which was already getting out of hand. So for NXPE, nakabuo na sila ng dalawang dominant size. If not mistaken, si Cadenza at si Ureshi nakabuo nun, which will help with the natural healing, i-reduce yung natural healing na meron ng BLACKLIST, and more importantly, mas low mga miyembro ng BLACKLIST.
Oh! Four-man collapse. Maling eskinita, napasok ni Dominic doon, binigyan siya ng next play EVOS. Let's see, Cadenza very low. Oh no, Haji trying to get some. Finds one, Donut's still alive, but just barely. And Haji wants to get one. Does Haji get a double? Tumatakbo pa si Donut. And Donut gets away. Close call. Would have been a disaster. But eventually finds one more. Babagsak si Hayes dito. The machine is on a roll.
Next play EVOS, little by little, nakakahanap na sila ng momentum. Not so much, but just enough to manage the minion waves, keep it alright, keep it close. Pero Haji with that flick, giving the flicker big.
Team fight breaking down in mid. That's Donut laying down the law. Stacks on stacks. Quick Lord take. 9 minutes, 15 seconds in. Again, when it comes to objectives, kailangan paghirapan ng next play yun. So ang mapa ay kay BLACKLIST pa rin. Pag may sinabi silang kailangan namin to, they easily get it. I'm wondering what the item game looks like on Wides right now, given that they're ahead by 3K here. Saan kaya napupunta yung gold? Kanino kaya? They have the War Axe and the Antique Grass already. So, ang aga din sinagot sa H2.
On the way to building the Thunderbelt, which will add like a little bit of range. Slow as well as physical defense. Kailangan against the double marksman setup ng BLACKLIST International, and looking at the items for Haji, kaya ang bilis ng cooldown reduction niya. Actually building the Enchanted Talisman with the Clock of Destiny. On the way pa ang build niya sa live extraction.
They're pushing for mid. Look at the stink here. Early push, 10 minutes in. Lords on may bottom lane. Top lane. Pinagtunan ng pansin ni Mr. Del Rosario. 5 men here from next play EVOS in mid. Ganap sila. Dominic, gusto mag-flank. Tutulungan yung push na may bottom lane. Big, huge wave. Nice flow here. Haji. Alias Hayes using that ult. Look at the damage. Donut can't engage. They're gonna swing onto this bottom lane inhibitor. Pumutok na yung shield. Wala nang wave. Ang next play, EVOS doon. BLACKLIST International though, they brought one in. But still, you gotta respect the damage that NXPE is putting on. Successful defense.
Looking at the lineup for BLACKLIST.
Oh, wait lang. Mamaya na yung lineup. May bawi ito si Donut. Taking down Haji. A shutdown on the Valentina. 2 for 1 so far. Ang palitan. Cadenza still alive. No burn is enough to take him down. 2 for 1. Renmar, you were saying about the lineups.
The lineup for BLACKLIST International, naturally, it's hard to find a hero who can really get to the backline of next play EVOS para ma-disrupt. So, wait, Donut!
Binigla nila si Donut, that's a kill by Al, and napasama pa yata kay Cadenza. Ureshi gonna go into Wise's belly as the Detners welcome into the wall. Wrong wall though, not enough of a distance to stun the Paquito, and there's the comeback potential. Fly still gets one, Medusa gone, a killing spree, and now H2 might go down here. Oh, goes back with the step. And right now, they're just happy to keep this inhibitor and their lives intact.
Oh, pero hindi na naman si Haji. I thought Haji would go for it. To quickly sum up what I've been trying to say, the Bats Feast ultimate ng Sicilian, yun yung lagi kinukuha ni Haji.
Sulit
At
na
yun
sulit.
yung parang isang main,
Yep.
sulit na sulit, main initiation tool nga ng Blacklist International. Pag nakuha ni Haji yung ultimate ng Sicilian, he'll activate it. That's how he'll get close to the fight. And that's why nakakaabot sila sa backline nila, that range and the reach of having the Bats Feast on your Valentina na kinukuha niya from the Sicilian ng next play Evos.
Yep. Oh no, wait lang, nasa Eagle doon sa may likod. Si Oh My Venus, Del Rosario on the swing back. Kakainin niya si Donut. H2 falls into the backline. And then as well, 3 for none. Walang sagot ang next play Evos dito. Mag-sandwich ba kaya yata? Si Bataanon, tatalo na ni Dominic. Flicker on out. Let's see, can they get away with this? Hey, survived, but not the same. We can say for this inhibitor in mid, makabalik na si Ureshi. Mapapush ni Aulion. Bottom lane still up. They're gonna try to put some damage onto it. Ureshi bursted down by Owl. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just a matter of time. And now we have our champion in this national team selection tournament. Blacklist International have made it as a part of SIBOL 2022.
Masanay ka na marinig ang mga pangalan nila: Villaluna, Del Rosario, Soto, Gonzalez, Imam, Alaba, Giandani, Enrica Plaza to the Blacklist International squad. Congratulations for winning the SIBOL 2022 National Team Selection.
Well played, and I cannot say any more about Next Play Evos. They showed us what they were all about. They played their hearts out and they have earned our respect and our adoration. Napakagaling ng squad na ito. They rebuilt from the previous professional season and now they have made it to the grand finals, making these champions bleed. 4-1 ang final score natin. Let's look at the post-game results here. 10-5 in just 13 minutes.
And you can't fault NXPE for how Blacklist International played. Blacklist needed to play like how they played. Of course, respecting the fact that the late game scaling is going to be there for NXPE. The Sicilian is going to be a big problem. So they up the tempo. They focus on the lane of Donut. Pre-pressure talaga nila na todo yung jungle ni H2, really slowing down his farming speed. At the end of the game, 2.1k gold lead for Wise in the jungle, and this was just Blacklist understanding, yet again, what you need to do against a lineup like this, and just playing it to perfection, opening up the Valentina kontra sa Sicilian. The fact that Valentina has the Bats Feast na pwede niya inakaw si Sicilian was such a big problem as well for NXPE. Yung mga sitwasyon na parang nakakahanap na ng momentum unti-unti yung NXPE, but then suddenly Haji, who by the way, in that last team fight, sobrang crucial, makita natin dun sa highlights natin, gaano kaganda yung positioning niya and his play in that game with the Valentina.
Let's check out the smart plays, exactly how Haji and the rest of Blacklist International tried to fix the win rate on a Valentina na na-open up and this time gumana. I was gonna say kanina habang binibreakdown natin yung Bats Feast na pagnakaw ni Haji, in the face of maybe 3 ults that you don't want, 1 that's okay, circling Eagle, yung Bats Feast talaga. Makuha niya lang yon, alam na next play Evos na not a good engagement for us, especially now na natapos yung laro in just about the mid-game or early-late game.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a lineup na dahil, if you think about it, they don't have that long-range artillery katulad ng isang Farsa na pwede pahirapan o burst down yung mga marksman na next play Evos. That's why Valentina was so crucial here that Bats Feast, we just mentioned it, kept that distance. It stopped next play Evos from doing a lot of things, and it gave them a hard time in getting control of their own jungle, and it was just again, nakita natin kung bakit sobrang halaga ni Valentina ngayon sa pro scene at ilang beses na ban out dito sa SIBOL.
It's just a matter of time din kasi na parang natutunan nila. And again, it's better that you figure it out via a loss in, 2 or 3 games back. Tapos eventually, kahit na ginawa ng NXPE EVOS ng paraan, I saw this, it was mentioned earlier, na ready nga ang NXPE EVOS sa isang Valentina, but not like this. Not when it takes the ult of one Haze. This is 8 minutes 45 seconds in. Makakaisa pang Lord. Sorry, hindi pa pala nakaka-Lord dito ang Blacklist. And already, you can see how the map is already blue. So, already, medyo double jeopardy para sa isang carry. Kanina, medyo masakit nga, oo, pero when the map is so small, early game, hirap ka na maghanap ng farm. You can't blame John Paul longer. You can't blame H2. It's just he was doing his best, pero ang hirap lang talaga maging carry sa ganitong sitwasyon.
Yep. The entirety of NXPE EVOS, they were all definitely doing their best. Just the lineup, sobrang hirap nito for a very greedy lineup. Isipin mo, you have 3 lanes focused on time, on stacks, on farm. The Brody, the Sicilian, and the carry. Yung main frontliner mo, it's not a tanky frontliner. It's somewhat disruptive. May heal siya on the Paquito, but it's not like a tank. It's not like a Barrett na ang daming damage niya pwede makuha bago siya mapatumba. So, Blacklist, again, just playing that perfectly. You really also have to give a lot of props here to the new players that they brought in, Dominic and Owl. All throughout the tournament, they've just really been shining. And especially for Dominic, na naririnig ko, he's not like other players where we got here na parang they've made the name for themselves in the amateur scene. It's just like Dominic, so someone came out of nowhere, was a gem na discovered ng Blacklist International na it's like an RG god, close to that. Has a lot of talent, and Blacklist said, yeah, we can mold that. And of course, with the guiding eyes of Haji, and especially one of the most fearsome tandems we've had ever since pumasok sila sa pro scene na to really be known. Oh My Venus and Wise still proving that you can give them any team and they will make it work because they will help guide the way. And the same can be said for Haji, who is one of the veterans. And if I'm not mistaken, tinatawag na nga siyang kapitan because going to the next season, he will take that captain role for Blacklist International to help mold and lead Dominic and Owl to this. The fact that SIBOL, my goodness.
Interesting yung sitwasyon ni Ginoong Salik Imam right now because he has to figure out what it is, right? SEA Games, MPL Season 9, I'm captain in 1, I'm a part of the other team, but I don't know, we're about to go into a call with Blacklist International here this time around. We're gonna get their thoughts and we're gonna go into a conversation with them kasi again, they won the National Team Selection Tournament right here and they've made it as a part of a training pool of SIBOL and we want to hear from them, alright? So, we're gonna go into this call. Renmar, do you have any questions ready? Kasi ako, may mga questions na rin ako eh.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions ready. And again, guys, it's for being part of the SIBOL National Team Selection Pool, it means that people will be really looking at this squad, not just for SEA Games, but for the other international federation tournaments na meron. Hindi lang SEA Games na meron dyan. Go back to day 1, sinabi ni Boss Lon Marcelo, the other events possible. So, it's a lot of opportunities para sa squad na to, para sa mga players na to, idala ang bandila ng Pilipinas to get those championships in other tournaments throughout 2022.
Yep, and it's these names that you mentioned earlier na alalahanin na ng mga tao dahil yan ang pagkakilala natin sa kanila as they go into this other realm of competitive MPL. Their dreams have come true here and isinama ng ating mga paboritong world champions at least for 2021, right? Yung mga bago nilang players like Dominic and Owl, Soto and Gonzalez, they are now part of that and I can't wait. Honestly, magic is about to happen here. This is black magic as you can call it. This is Blacklist International joining this pool. I can only imagine, yung feeling nila sa bootcamp ngayon. Kaya okay lang din na they take their time to come in. I wonder who we're gonna hear from, honestly, because they're all super charming athletes. They're all super charming young men and individuals. People, I love them so much. And I'm sure you guys too as well because we all have to unite now behind them. Sila magdadala ng ating bandera under the SIBOL team. Here we go. Let's throw it over. Let's hear from BLACKLIST International. What's up? Oh my goodness, Dexter, Haji! Sino na sa likod? Si Master the Base yan? What's up?
Congrats!
MTV.
MTV, you did so well. Na-scout niyo ang malulupit na amateurs. Real quick, message niyo muna how you guys feel in 4-1. Making it as a part of the SIBOL training pool. Kumusta?
Ikaw, B.
Bakit ako?
Ayun lang.
Nakakaloka sobra. Actually, sobrang hirap sobrang hirap nung series. Sobrang makita mo talaga yung yung improvement at yung drive ng next play na mag-represent din ng Seagulls. Pero syempre, hindi kayo magpapakabog.
Aha.
I love it.
Para sa Blacklist, ano yung nakita nyo parang biggest threat ng Next Play Evo sa series na to na tinitignan nyo talaga, dapat mag-ingat tayo dito pag kalaban natin yung Next Play Evos?
Sorry, medyo naputol. Medyo naputol.
Ano yung tinitignan nyo sa Next Play Evos na pinag-ingatan nyo talaga or yung hinandaan nyo?
Actually, yung tatlong nila, cookies, yung sila Oreshi, si Cadenza, pati si Donut. Parang hindi rin sila mga amateur, no? So, feeling ko prepare na rin sila sa MPL. No?
Saka yung pick nila, talaga medyo nahirapan kami doon. Bigla sila may ibang pick na ginagawa.
Ganun.
Mga unique flavor picks. Yeah.
Magaling din sila mag-adjust.
It's nice to hear from Coach Giandani, also known as Master the Basics. Sobrang pasok na pasok sa BLACKLIST International style at ngayon sa SIBOL style as you guys are now part of that training pool of that just elite group of athletes that will be representing the country. Question, 2022, dito tayo lalaban. Nakuha nyo na ang World Championship. Isa na naman bucket list ito na posible nating ma-check this year. After dominating professional MLBP ngayon, part of a medal event in the upcoming SEA Games, possibly maybe Asian Games. Anong plano nyo going into those big tournaments?
Ang plano nyo?
Ako magpahinga muna kasi ever since nung M3, hindi pa ako nakapagpahinga talaga.
Tapos magba-Valentine's Day pa, no?
Yeah.
Okay, so reset for V. Reset for V. Ikaw, anong plano mo?
Ako?
Oo.
Ako ba?
Yeah.
Yes.
May MPL pa eh. Di pa tapos, na MPL pa. February 18. Meron pa kaming 19 days.
Repeat.
Lapit na. 19.
Oo.
Wait lang. Sige. Coach Master the Basics ka. Anong plano mo? Now that you guys have won, what's the next thing on your plate?
Siguro yung pag-improve ng ng bagong lineup ng season 8, season 9 kasi medyo malaking adjustment 'yun. Wala si P at si Wise. So, napakalaking adjustment. So, sana mabilis na makapag-adapt. Yun lang.
Kayo, anong plano nyo? Leo, 5 hours.
Pahinga din. Kasi 18 days din kami.
Oo nga eh. Malapit na rin eh. Actually, that's one thing I wanted to ask. Of course, nasabi din ni V na ever since M3 hindi ka pa nakapaghinga. Ano pa yung mga ibang challenges na face ng BLACKLIST International sa pag-prepare dito sa SIBOL 2022 selection?
Syempre yung yung pagkawala ni Edward tsaka ni Owen, sobrang laki talagang factor nun. And kaya yun, sobrang nag-double effort kami para mapunan yung pagkawala ng dalawa. Pero yung nag-success naman, kaya shoutout kay Owl and kay Dominic.
Welcome
to BLACKLIST.
Actually, parang ready pa sila mag-on cam. Parang gusto ko lang sila makita, mag-hello sila na mabilis sa camera para makita din sila ng mga tao. They deserve this moment as well. And show everyone as well. Show Y, show Haji as well.
What's up?
Ito si All.
Yan, medyo hiyain pa. Di ba
Shout out team family, mabilis.
Paul!
Mahihain pa.
Huwag kang shy! Ano si Dominic?
Ayan, si Dominic.
Wow!
Oh! Mano,
Yeah! Alright. I love it. Okay, now that we've seen and heard from Owl and Dominic, kayo naman, Dex, Master the Basics, V, ano ang inyong mensahe or shoutout para sa inyong family, kaibigan, at sa mga libo-libo yung fans, both agents and Filipinos now behind you as we support you on your journey this year, 2022, para i-representa ang ating bansa. Go ahead, Dex, you can go first.
Ayan, una-una, nagpapasalamat kami sa mga boss namin, kay Boss Try, kay Boss Alodia, kay Boss Rada, pati sa sa mga blacklist agents na sumusuporta sa amin, ganoon din sa sa coaching staff, kay MTV, tapos kay Coach Bonchan na kahit wala rito, malaking tulong pa rin yung binibigyan niya sa amin. Tapos shoutout din sa family ko and sa mga shoutout sa inyo lahat. Ganun.
Sa akin ganun din sa lahat ng sumusuport sa Blacklist, sa Master the Basics na group, maraming salamat. And syempre dun sa girlfriend ko, shoutout sa'yo. And sa lahat ng tropa, friends na mula umpisa na nakasupport na sa amin. Maraming salamat, guys.
Syempre, unang-una sa lahat, maraming salamat sa Blacklist International, sa Tier 1 Entertainment sa pag-suporta sa amin para makamit namin tong at maging SEA Games representative kami. And sa shoutout sa viewers pa sa Blacklist Agents at sa walang sawang suporta sa family ko, yan sa mother ko, sister ko nasa Japan, sa family ko sa Antipolo, yan, hello sa inyo. And shoutout kay PHI Del Rosario.
Let's go!
Let's get it! Ang lupet, thank you so much, Queen, V, MTV, Dex, and the rest of Blacklist International. Once again, the champions of the 2022 SIBOL National Team Selection. Mabuhay kayo at muling lumakad matatag. Let's go for gold this time around. 2022, maganda ang bungad para sa Pilipinas. Thank you so much. Maiwan mo namin kayo to celebrate. Bye-bye.